Hi everyone, Stacy here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. So today let's talk about the month of February 2025 and what energies will be available to us for this month. Now, before I dive into all 12 signs, I just want to take a quick opportunity to thank each and every one of you for liking and sharing out my content and subscribing to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you for doing so. I truly appreciate the support. And again, thank you so much for being with me all throughout 2024. And I'm definitely looking forward to 2025 and beyond. So, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you, and I'm so happy that you stumbled across one of my videos or my channel. Another reminder that these are general readings. I cannot stress that enough. Keep in mind, I do not have your personal birth chart sitting in front of me. So, as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. I do use a whole sign house system on all of my videos on YouTube land here, and I also use Western tropical astrology. So again, I don't anticipate this will resonate with each and every one of you because it depends on what system you prefer personally. Now, if you know your rising sign, I do encourage you to watch for your rising sign, and if you don't know your rising sign, that's okay. You can watch for your sun sign and your moon sign or any other planet placement or point that resonates with you to pull all the information together for you to paint you a high level overview of what could be coming down the pipe for you in February. And of course, if you'd like to get a personal reading tailored to you, for you, all about you, if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, you can do so by checking out the link below in the description box. Now, before I jump into all 12 signs, I just want to dive into a really quick introduction to February, and then we'll dive into all the signs here. Now, I'm really going to focus in this month and probably next month about the Piscean area of your chart. And you don't need to be a Pisces to resonate with this because all of us have Pisces somewhere in our birth charts. There's a lot of activations happening here, and it does start with Venus. So she is she already actually came together with Saturn in the middle of January, and she'll be having a conversation with Neptune and the North Node beginning of February. Now, this is nothing new. This usually happens about once a year. However, all of these planets are crammed into the area of life of our Pisces life. So again, this is new beginnings on multiple levels, multiple activations happening here. Plus we got the North Node inviting us to welcome in something new in this area of life, but not right away in the month of February. This could be a story that's going to slowly but surely unfold over the next 2 years because the North Node and South Node activations is where the eclipses are going to be falling over the next 2 years and even into 2027. So I'm going to focus on that because when Venus goes through a retrograde, she's actually going to be coming back to Saturn. She's going to be coming back to Neptune, and she's going to come back to that North Node in April and May. So again, this is a larger story that's going to be starting, I think, well, technically in January, and it's going to continue to unfold over the next several months. So we'll talk about that. I think that's where the focus is going to be this month. Of course, we'll talk about those lunations as well. We have a full moon in Leo this month on February the 12th. And we have a new moon in Pisces this month on February the 27th. So we'll talk about that. And finally, all the outer planets are officially direct this month, which is great news. So we have Jupiter going direct on the 4th, and this is at 11 degrees of Gemini. So he went retrograde way back in October the 9th at 21 degrees of Gemini. So this is where, again, he's going to be going back over old ground. So again, the Gemini area of your house is going to be activated, and it's all systems go. Something is picking up from where he left off back in October. And a similar story here is playing out with Mars. So Mars is going direct this month. Hallelujah. I think a lot of people are going to be happy about that. So February 23rd, he goes direct at 17 degrees of Cancer. Now, this is where he was back in October as well. So there's, again, a bigger story that's playing out in the Cancerian and the Gemini areas of our lives, where now we can finally get some traction and some forward momentum, possibly connected back to October of 2024. So just keep that in mind as well. Ingresses this month. So speaking of Venus, yes, she spent the month of January in Pisces. Now she dips into Aries on February the 4th, but she's only going to be here for a short period of time because she actually stations retrograde on March the 1st. I do have a separate video about this. Depending on when you're watching this video, I will release the Venus retrograde video the first week of February. So stay tuned for that. That's where I dive into a lot more detail about the areas of life Venus will be going back and forth in. But regardless, she is hopping into Aries this month. And on the 14th of February, we have Mercury joining the party in Pisces as well. Again, putting that extra energy and focus with that area of life. And then we have the Sun joining the party as well in Pisces on February the 18th. So again, that's where I think the focus is going to be for the month of February. And last but not least, I am going to mention it this month. It's a little bit early, but I have a feeling some of you probably are going to start feeling the rumbling and grumbling of eclipse season. Yeah, believe it or not, I know, I feel like we just went through this eclipse season and that was back in September and October. Yes, it's rumbling again. So eclipse season starts in March, but I thought I'd mention it now because again, for those of us depending on our birth chart, some of us might already start to feel these activations and things might start actually happening in the month of February for each and every one of us in, of course, different areas of life. So I think that is about it. Let's jump into all 12 signs. Hey Aries, let's talk about where I think your focus is going to be this month. Before I get to that loaded 12th house, which I think is going to take up the majority of our time for February and March as well. The Sun is still wrapping up in your 11th house of friendships and groups and people that you hang out with, people that you surround yourself with. This is associations and memberships that you belong to. 11th house is also gains from the career sector as well. Maybe something to do with an older sibling. Maybe something to do with your long-term commitments and goals. Again, whether this is to a partnership in love or business or some sort of career endeavor or business endeavor. So that is where the Sun is still lighting up this area of life. So I think that's where some of your focus could be. But as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, there's so much packed karmic energy into this Piscean area of life. So let's break this down. Let's start with this new moon in Pisces. Now, this area of life is very hidden. I have no doubt, Aries, you might feel restless this month, next month, again, especially once the Sun maybe moves in here. But this is a lot of energy coming into a quiet area of life. This is like jamming everybody into a bathroom, you know? Unless you own a mansion, I don't know. I don't think that would be very comfortable, right? So do your best, Aries. I don't think you'll have a problem with this. Like, try to get the energy out of you. Don't sit still. You might not want to sit still this month. Try to get into a good sleep routine as well. But the 12th house is all about solitude. It's all about preparing for that brand new cycle. I think if you've been following me for a while, I've been saying this to you for a while. Like, you are preparing. It's almost like you are preparing to launch yourself into society, like a brand new you or a brand new business or a brand new career or a brand new angle or a brand new avenue that you want to take. Now, it doesn't have to happen this year. But I mean, I'll get into it in future videos with Saturn and Neptune coming into your first house. But with the moon here, there's a new beginning, and Mercury here is, again, putting your attention and focus and mind and energy to this behind closed doors, so to speak. And again, the Sun is illuminating this as well. So this is about preparing for something big, Aries. Maybe this is about taking a step back and taking a time out, whatever that means for you. This could be taking a sick leave. This could be taking a personal day. This could be just taking a time out to have some solitude, some quiet time for yourself, Aries. And if that doesn't resonate with you, well, then again, Exercise is going to be really important for you at this time as well, because again, you might feel a little jittery, chattery, a little like lots of energy happening, but you just don't really know. You can't put your finger on it. You can't figure out where it's coming from. That's all this energy in this packed 12th house. 12th house is also about, you know, figuring out what you need to let go of once and for all. So, you know, we can't take everything with us into the next new cycle. So again, you could be thinking about or planting those seeds of intention of, okay, I'm going to let, you know, you fill in the blank, this thing go by middle of June, middle of July, whatever the case may be, over the next 6 months or so. It's setting those intentions of letting something go so you can, it sort of frees you up. It sort of lifts that burden from you, Aries. So again, apply this to your situation and your circumstance. This is also a reflection and introspection time of, you know, where is your time, your energy, and your efforts being spent? This could include love as well, or business. Again, apply this to your life. Are you spending too much time at the workplace? Are you spending too much time on the business? Are you spending too much time with, you know, maybe it's time to get back to work. Maybe you've been having an extended period of time where you've been off, whether it's a mat leave, a pat leave, personal leave. Now it's time. This is the year, Aries, for sure, to put yourself out there and go big. I would say, yeah, go big or go home. You have nothing to lose, Aries, but it's not a race. You know, you are the epitome of competition, and I love that about each and every one of you, but it's okay to pace yourself and also give yourself grace. And give yourself grace that it's not going to be perfect. And that's totally fine too. You know, just put it out there. I'm thinking if you're trying to launch something, or if you're trying to get into a new career, or if you're trying to go back to school, if you're trying to change your life, whatever this is, Aries, it's just give yourself grace and pace yourself. That's what they just keep saying, because this is going to be another year of walking between the worlds. We're not going to see things come to a culmination point until closer to like 2030. Yes, I know that's a long ways away, but that's how it's going to feel over the next several years while these heavy hitters in the sky move into brand new territory. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. 12th house is also about your hidden gifts, talents, and abilities. I think we kind of covered that off anyway. Dream world, dreamland. If you're a psychologist or work with clients or patients one-on-one, excellent sort of intentions if you want to set those intentions for your business over the next several years. Or again, 6 months from now, we'll have a full moon in this area of life where something will come to a culmination point. So Aries, that's where a lot of this energy and focus is going to be. And you have, again, multiple new beginnings, because we had Venus in here trucking along in January, where she came up against Saturn, and then she's coming up against the North Node and Neptune at the beginning of February. So there's new beginnings being initiated here, whether you realize them or not. You're one of the signs where maybe you won't notice this because it is in the 12th house. It's a hidden part of your sky. So some of you might feel this, some of you won't. And if I didn't mention it, also the 12th house is anything to do with spirituality or mysticism. Any of you that, you know, work in the woo-woo world like I do, this is also putting kind of a spotlight on that as well. Maybe it's just incorporating meditation, a meditation practice. And meditation doesn't have to be, you know, you sit cross-legged for like 2 hours. No, it could be you just take a mindful meditation walk. You know, you concentrate on the here and now, one foot in front of the other. That's all you have to do. It's nothing like, doesn't have to be crazy and you got to set up a temple in your house and things like that. No, if you feel called to do that, cool. But if you don't, just take it slow. Again, one step at a time, Aries, and it doesn't have to be perfect. There's something to do with not having to be perfect. Perfectionism is out the window. It's sort of like just hone in and do what you can in the next several months or in the next several years for that matter. But I also don't want to get too ahead of myself here. So Venus here also activated a lot of new beginnings, but she'll be coming back to this area of life in April and May. So pay attention to what sort of starts happening in the 12th house and also with you. So Venus, speaking of Venus, she enters into your house this month. This is all about you. You're going to be a magnet, and benefits could come from Let's see here, work colleagues. Could also come from business relationships or love relationships or family or friends or anyone that you're connected to. There could be benefits coming to you from these kinds of people or work colleagues this month and beyond. Because again, she's going to be stationing retrograde in March in your sign, and then she's going to go backwards and reconnect with Saturn and Neptune and the North Node, saying, hey, you know what? I forgot something. So let me just wrap something up before I cruise back through your sign and come back to you, Aries. So really amazing month. Even January, you know, new beginnings and more new beginnings. Plus, again, we have that new moon there. So, and let's see here. So that's 9 degrees of Pisces. If you do know your chart, if you have anything around 9 degrees of Pisces, and if you don't worry about it. This does still sit in that 12th house that we talked about. Just again, Aries, I caution you of going overboard. This new moon, sorry if I forgot to mention, February 27th. I'm kind of jumping to the end of the month here. Only thing I caution is it's making a square to Jupiter, and that means overdoing something. So again, overdoing it, whatever that is, you fill in the blank. For you, I'm thinking of, because you are the sign of exercise, just take it easy when it comes to exercising. Don't push yourself too hard, too fast. Don't go too hard, too fast, especially if you've been kind of like out of the exercise world for a while. So just take it easy. But again, if that doesn't resonate, apply this to something that you're starting brand new around perhaps the 27th of the month, but really any time this month. Take it slow. If you're starting a new relationship, Venus backing into Neptune. Actually, Venus, all this energy in your 12th house, could be about secrets too. Secrets that you're hiding from a loved one or a family member, or just things you want to keep to yourself. You know, this could also be dating in secret. So if you do start dating someone new last month, this month, March and April, I would ask that you take it slow. That would be my recommendation. But again, you do you. If you want to elope to Las Vegas and be like, hey, this is my partner, and you want to be married by Elvis Presley, that's cool too. But the relationship might look different when Venus comes out of her shadow, when Venus comes out of that retrograde period. So that would be my only caution with new starts right now. Anything to do with love or money or anything to do with your image, Aries, because this is happening also in your first house of self, of image. So I wouldn't do anything crazy drastic, but again, you do you, Aries. Technically, February is safe. But once we get into March, once she actually goes retrograde, which I'll remind you again next month, not the best time to completely change your look. You could do some test trials. You know, you can maybe put on the fake tattoos before you put on the real tattoos, things like that, Aries. But just take it slow. You know, there's nothing wrong with new beginnings. You know, at the end of the day, we're here for the journey, not the destination. We're here to just make life work for us and enjoy it while we can. Okay, so enough about that. I skipped over that full moon that we're going to have in Leo, which is actually making a really nice aspect to you, Aries. So if you have anything around 24 degrees of Aries, this full moon is also illuminating you as well. So if it's your sun, this would be something to do with your career. If it's your rising sign, again, something to do with your identity, how you carry yourself in the world, what you're known for doing, maybe connected to your status. Again, maybe connected to career as well. If it's your moon sign, it's something to do with home, family, foundation, or something to do with your mom. Or the sun, it could even be something to do with father or father-like figures or bosses, or maybe you as a boss, or you as an entrepreneur or business owner, Aries. Now, this full moon in Leo is lighting up actually a really nice axis for you. So this is the 5th house, but it's also shining a spotlight up in that 11th house, which I talked about at the beginning there. So the 5th house is also about children and grandchildren, if you do have any, if that resonates with you. So this is a culmination or an ending point or a moving on to the next chapter, so to speak, around this full moon. Also think back to August of 2024. That's when we had a new moon in this area of life, Aries. So this might be, like I said, a next step, a culmination point, a closing, an ending out. and then moving on to something new when it comes to your kids or your grandkids. Now, the fifth house is also about love affairs and romance and dating and self-expression and creativity, and also maybe a little bit of drama there too, Aries, because it is Leo after all, and it is the fifth house. But the fifth house is very lighthearted. It's very jovial. This is also about fertility. So those of you looking to get pregnant, and it doesn't matter if you're a guy watching this, because yes, it does take two to tango from my understanding. Maybe not so much in the near future, but I mean, for the here and now, it doesn't matter if you're male or female watching. Take those extra precautions if you're not looking to get pregnant or start a family at this time. Fifth house is anything to do with entertainment, gambling, hobbies. Again, that self-expression piece. The fifth house is what lights you up from the inside out, Aries. So that is that for the full moon. Again, really nice full moon, I would say, for the fire signs, Aries. Now, let's see here. Yes, Mars is still in your fourth house, a home, family, and foundations. So, yes, this is scratchy. This is a scratchy transit. Plus, this is your ruler, Aries. So, hallelujah, he is going direct, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, not until February the 23rd, but regardless, he's going direct this month, but he's going to continue to be in that fourth house. So, really great for renovations. If you've been renovating and you haven't been getting any traction, whether this is on the home front or the business front, you should start getting some traction by the end of February, some forward momentum. So no more walls being thrown up. It's like, let's get this shit done, Aries, basically. Fourth house, yeah, this can be scratchy for anybody you live with. So this can be irritation. This can be conflict in the household. Good news is, like I said, this is moving forward. This is slowly but surely moving forward. And then once he moves out of Cancer, he'll be in that fifth house, making more, I would say, progression just came to mind. So you're going to make more progress. There we go. While Mars hops back into Leo. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself here. He will be here until the middle of April down in your fourth house, a home, family, foundation. This could also make you a little bit more irritable as a parent, if you are a parent. This is also the access of mom, dad, authority figures. So again, there could be some scratchy interactions with parents at this time as well. And it might bleed into your career because Mars is opposing your Capricorn 10th house of career as well, Aries. Okay, let's see here. For those of you looking for love, if I did not already mention this, this is the great attractor when Venus hits your first house, Aries. So if you're looking for love, it could be full on this month. But again, just take those romantic cautionary things in mind that I mentioned earlier on in the video. Otherwise, enjoy the month of February, Aries, and we'll see you back here next month. Bye for now. Hey, Taurus, let's talk about where I think your focus will be for the month of February. Now, before I just dive into your Piscean area of life, because I think that's where some of the focus is going to be this month and next month. But right now, the sun is still cruising through your 10th house of career, work, status, reputation, you as a parent, or something to do with parental figures. Maybe focus on a mom, dad, authority figure, bosses, or maybe you as a boss. Taurus, that could continue to be the focus for the month of February. Now, once the sun moves into this 11th house, it's jam-packed. My goodness. Plus, we have a new beginning here. We have multiple new beginnings here. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Venus started activating this area of life for you middle of January when she came together with Saturn, and she'll be coming together with the North Node and Neptune the first week of February. Now, she'll be coming back to these planets in April-May timeframe, and I'll be here to talk about it and remind you. But I wanted to put this on everyone's radar this month because sort of notice what's happening this month and even into March and April, because again, Venus is playing out a larger story in your 11th house here. So what is the 11th house? This is all about, or could be about, an older sibling if you do have an older sibling, but definitely humanitarian efforts, any sort of collective groups that you belong to. So this could be friendship circles, communities, unions, professional associations that you belong to. This is also the role that you play, Taurus, with these groups and people that you hang out with or affiliate with or associate with. The 11th house is also the house of gains, Taurus. So I hope for you, for those of you that do have a career, this is about gaining traction with literally gains from whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day basis, whether it is you walk dogs or have a career or have a job. Now, if you're not working, this would be, again, how are you contributing to society? What are those next steps that you want to take in that journey of evolution and helping out your, fellow neighbors or neighborhood or community or family or whatever the case may be? 11th house is also social media, Taurus. So if you're not on social media, like if you have a business and or I just heard blogger, so okay, maybe some of you are blogging, but put yourself out there. This would be a really good new moon on February the 27th, on or around that time. Again, give or take a day or two, depending on where you are on the planet, but really good time to launch yourself out to society, so to speak, Taurus, because at the end of the day, this is also a new beginning, multiple new beginnings, like I mentioned. So if you're curious about that, also networking is really, really emphasized here as well. And the 11th house is all about the future. Like what do you want to gain in the future? What are your long-term hopes, wishes, and dreams? What are your long-term commitments that you want to make for the future? This could be long or short. It doesn't matter, Taurus, that it's whatever suits you at this time. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't know, I don't have any new beginnings. Well, again, the North Node here is going to help you nudge onto that path. And all these Piscean energies are speaking really well with the Taurus area of your life or whatever you're watching for right now. So you could be planting those seeds of intention that you're not even consciously aware of that yet, because Venus is also just newly dipped into your hidden 12th house of the subconscious as well. Now, again, she's going to come back here, right? So if you're forgetting anything, or if you missed anything, or if you already launched something out, that's okay. January, February is a good time to do that. We have all the outer planets are direct. The personal planets are, they're a little bit foggy and muddy right now because they're in shadow and Mars is still retrograde till the end of the month. But at the end of the day, you have the support of those powerhouses in the outer realms, so to speak. So you have all those big planets supporting you, Taurus, especially Uranus in your first house, which is newly direct at the end of January. So don't be afraid, to launch something out. It doesn't have to be perfect, Taurus. It's like, just get it out there, and you know what? You can tweak it and polish it later on down the road when Mars is direct, when Venus is direct, or I should say out of shadow, which is about middle of 2025. So reassess at that time. Don't worry about making it perfect and polished right now, Taurus. I would say just get it out there. Why not? If you are ready. Anyway, if you're not ready, don't worry about it. But if for those of you that are waiting and ready, absolutely. Put yourself out there, and hopefully there's a connection there to the internet, or like I said, utilizing social media. I think that would be really beneficial for you as well, Taurus. Okay, so all that I nattered off there could be also that new beginning, like I said, with that new moon. Now let's jump to the Leo full moon, which is at the bottom of your sky. So this is happening on the 12th of February at 24 degrees. If you have anything around 24 degrees of Taurus, you might feel this quite a bit. So this is a square energy. And it's a full moon. So this could be an ending, a culmination point when it comes to something to do with home, family, foundation, your place of living, maybe even quite literally moving. It's also shining a spotlight upstairs in your 10th house as well, which we just covered off as well. So again, this could be something to do with the career, could be something to do with what you do on a day-to-day basis. Or if you're not working, apply this to your home life. What is going on under your own roof? The people that you live with, are there people coming and going? Are you coming and going? Are you looking to relocate? Are you looking to retire? Are you looking to move? Actually, with a loaded 11th house like this, planning for retirement, regardless of what age you are, would be an excellent time to do it, because you got Saturn in this area of life as well, supporting you with that long-term commitment and goal. And Saturn loves stuff like that. So anything to do with planning for retirement, regardless of your age, would be a good time to start planning. And I also just heard, for those of you that are retiring or are retired, I'm hearing you're reaping the rewards of that right now, but you're being called to humanitarian efforts, helping out your fellow humanity. Again, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because I'm hearing the same messages. But anyway, I covered it off there with that 11th house meaning. Okay. This could also have something to do with your parents, Taurus, if I did not mention that. You as a parent, endings and new beginnings as you, something to do with you as a parent, or what does parenthood mean to you? Or this could be something to do with mom, dad, authority figures in your life, or even bosses in your life, Taurus. Now, Mars is still trucking away there in Cancer, but lucky you, you're one of the lucky signs where Mars is actually making some nice opportunity aspects to your first house, or whatever you're watching for, your sun, your moon, your rising. So Mars could be bringing back opportunities from the past, or again, Mars makes things scratchy wherever he goes, and he doesn't like being retrograde, and he does not like being in Cancer. So this could be something to do with irritation or inflammation with regards to a sibling, a cousin, a relative, neighbor, neighborhood, or place of living. Something maybe to do with transportation, how you get around. Maybe that's been annoying, or if there's been any issues with transportation or modes of transportation. There's a reason Mars keeps bringing this up for you, Taurus, so he can address it. You can address it. He's helping you address it. There we go. However it is that you get around could be changing, or again, Mars is asking you to reassess something in this area of life. Third house is also social media, internet. This is local environment, so this could also be about local traveling, local tripping around. I also just heard Taurus road rage. Yeah, I can appreciate that being in the third house. Mars, again, can make things scratchy. I'm not trying to doom and gloom it, but you know, Mars is Mars. Mars is our passion, our motivation, our action, moving forward. And if we can't move forward, we get frustrated, right, in this area of life, Taurus. So again, get comfortable with it, because Mars is going to be here till middle of April. But the good news is he's going direct at the end of the month. So you should get some sort of traction or gain momentum in this area of life that maybe has a connection to October, way back in October. And let's see. Oh, Venus. Yeah, Venus in your, this is a quiet area of life. And whenever I see Venus in the 12th house, I have to say it, you know, this could be dating in secret, whether you are married or common law or single. This could be, you know, dating behind closed doors, dating in secret, dating whether you have a partner or not. I'm just going to put it out there, okay? I'm not here to judge. It's just whenever I see that transit, and Mars is going back in this area of life too. She'll be going backwards. So again, there could be love coming back from the past, secret love, hidden love coming back from the past, Taurus. Let's see here. For you, Venus in this area of life could also mean something to do with healing, solitude, introspection. Focus on where is, speaking of love, where is your money and love being directed? Like, how is that flowing from you? This is your ruler, by the way. So when she goes retrograde, it kind of throws you in Libra into a little bit of a funk, similar to what Scorpio and Aries are going through right now with Mars retrograde. So this is your ruler. So this could literally quite be about anything, Taurus, because she's your ruler. She rules your first house. So this could be about career. This could be about love. This could be about money. This could be about your image. By the way, if you know, February is okay, but if you want to make any changes to your image, I would recommend to take that slow over the next several months. You know, maybe get that fake tattoo or put on a wig before you want to make anything crazy drastic to your image. Just because when she goes retrograde officially in March and pops out in the other side in May, you might regret those choices. So just something to keep in mind, Taurus. But this is your planet. Nobody knows how to work with Venus better than you and Libra. Okay, 12th house, 12th house. Yes, we covered off that. Anything to do with hidden. This is spirituality. This is awakenings. This could also be hidden gifts, talents, and abilities. Something that you're working on behind the scenes. A business that you could be working on behind the scenes. Because she does rule your 6th house of Libra, which is also health and well-being, pets, and work. Again, whatever you do for work on a day-to-day basis. And again, if you don't work, again, how do you contribute to society? Or maybe this is about diet, duty, responsibility, how you're taking care of yourself, how you pamper yourself, or how you're not pampering yourself, Taurus. Okay, let's see. I think that is about it, Taurus. Otherwise, yeah, multiple new beginnings in that 11th house. So enjoy the month ahead. And again, keep in mind what happens this month, because your ruler, you are making a lot of activations this month with Saturn, Neptune, and that North Node, which is kind of a wild card, similar to dealing with Uranus. You just don't know what you're going to get with the nodes, except people, places, and things will be brought into your path for a reason over the next couple years here. So enjoy the month of February, Taurus, and we'll see you back here next month. Bye for now. Hey, Gemini, let's talk about where I think your focus is going to be this month. Definitely on that 10th house, but before I get to that 10th house, the sun is still moving along in your 9th house of Aquarius. So this is all about the house of the gods, Gemini, and this is also about learning something new, perhaps learning something at a distance as well. Traveling, long distance traveling, foreign lands, foreign cultures, people that are just different or unique to you, and you're absorbing and inhaling all of that, possibly, Gemini. 9th house is also about legal matters or legal pursuits, or something to do with citizenship, passports, immigration, anything to do with paperwork or signing on the dotted line with regards to that. So the sun here is energizing you to push yourself outside of your comfort zone as well. Now, once all this energy packs into your 10th house, I couldn't even put all the symbols in there because it's so jam-packed. This is crazy laser focus on your status, Gemini, the legacy that you want to leave behind. Quite frankly, the work that you do, your work, career, business, whatever the case may be, a huge energy surge and multiple new beginnings are happening in this area of life that started technically last month. It's going to continue into this month. And well, with the eclipse cycles, it's going to take you well into 2027. But again, I want to kind of focus in on the month of February. But lots of new beginnings here, Gemini. And if you're not working, then this would be about retirement or plans to retirement, because if your true midheaven goes through Pisces, this would be about, you know, this would kind of like vibrate down into your home life too. So this could be about family, place of living, again, retirement, children, whoever you live with, whoever's under your roof. So again, if you're not working, apply this to your circumstances. But if you're not working, what is the legacy that you want to leave behind? You know, what do you want to be known? What do you want to be known for, Gemini, is what I would go back to with this loaded 10th house. Because whatever is happening, whatever has been happening since 2023, when Saturn popped in here, Saturn's crystallizing something in this area of life, which is a big key area of life, Gemini. Is it easy? Hell no. You know, Saturn moving at the top of your sky is can be extremely challenging. But again, you will thank Saturn because again, he's going to solidify you. He gives you the legs. He's quite literally the bones and the structures of the body. So without Saturn, we would just be a puddle of jello, you know, lying on the ground doing, I don't really know what. So Gemini, this brand new moon in Pisces, I'm kind of jumping around. I'm going to be jumping around here, so I apologize. New moon in Pisces at the end of the month. So the 27th at 9 degrees. If you do have anything around 9 degrees of Pisces in your area of life, or 9 degrees of Gemini for that matter, this is going to impact you directly and add in that additional layer. So for example, if it's your sun, this is about your career or bosses or authority figures, father figures, or you as a boss. If it's your rising sign, this could be anything. Your relationships, your career, your vitality, your health and well-being, or something to do with your home, family, and foundation. And also your moon. This would quite literally be mother figures or female figures in your life, or again, your living circumstances, your living situation. Gemini. So new beginnings at the top of the sky. So plant those seeds of intention. What do you want to manifest in this area of life? You know, we'll have a full moon in this area of life within the next 6 to 7 months or so, but this is a bigger story because Venus that started activating Saturn in the middle of January, and then she's going to truck along and connect with the North Node and Neptune in this area of life as well. And she's coming back here in April and May to speak with Saturn and Neptune and the North Node again. The North Node it's kind of the wild card here, and it's kind of really exciting. You know, Venus connects with Saturn and Neptune and all the planets for that matter about once a year. But the wild card here is the North Node. And all of this energy being concentrated in Pisces, there's a reason and a purpose for this, Gemini. And I also heard for you something to do with visibility. Yes, putting yourself out there, challenging yourself to get outside of the box. Step outside of the box that either you put yourself in, Gemini, or somebody else did. And it's time to break free of that. I'm getting kind of that, I'm already feeling that Uranian energy, which is like right there. It's going to be popping into your sign this year, and which I'm super pumped about. I'm super excited about this. I'm going to make a separate video about that later on in the year. But for now, I'm already feeling it, Gemini, for you. And this is super exciting. I could talk on and on and on about this, but just know Venus is helping you plant even more new beginnings that will take shape, will form over the next year. Because again, it takes her about a year to go around the entire zodiac. And I believe the next time she comes back around, Saturn and Neptune, I might be wrong, but I believe they'll be in Aries by the time she comes back around. But anyway, regardless, they're at the cusp of, they're at the very end degree of Pisces and beginning degrees of Aries there. Now, speaking of Aries, Venus will be hopping into Aries this month, and this is your 11th house. Now, wherever Venus goes, she's kind of like a magnet, and she attracts in things. She attracts in benefits to us, for us. Now, being in your 11th house, Gemini, this is about gains or money or love coming in from friendship circles, networking, social media, the internet. Again, putting yourself out there. This could be, again, Venus is always about love or money, usually. To add in another layer, Venus is also your spiritual planet as well. And she also rules your 5th house of love and dating and romance, but also the house of what lights you up, Gemini, what fires you up from the inside out, what are you passionate about. So again, you don't have to be working even to apply this energy to your life circumstances right now. There could also be gains coming in from an older sibling. If you do have older siblings, this is gains coming in from your career. If you do work like a regular 9-to-5 job, or if you own a business or run a business, this should be a profitable month for you. However, she is going retrograde coming March the 1st. So that's going to change the story a little bit, Gemini. Nothing to panic or worry about, because at the end of the day, it's Venus. It's not challenging energy to work with. But I would just also caution with spending. You might want to spend a lot of money at this time as well, because I see Mars is also in your 2nd house of income and earnings, and that can make us want to crave and spend a lot of money on things and situations. But again, I'm not fear mongering here. It's just kind of giving you a heads up as well. So Venus will be here for an extended stay. So do pay attention to what happens February, March, and April, because this is where she's going to be backtracking in your 11th house and 10th house. And she'll be coming back to, like I said, the Saturn, the Neptune, the North Node energies, and wrapping something up that she forgot to do in, say, January, February. She'll be redoing something come April and May for your benefit Gemini. Now, speaking of Mars, yes, Mars is still in Cancer. I feel like I've been talking about this forever. So yes, Mars has been in here. Well, Mars and Leo. So there's a connection here back to October of 2024. So if you took a step back with work or career or whatever you do on a day-to-day basis, or maybe pulled back from your finances, maybe withdrew something from your savings account or RSP or 401k, or investing, maybe you pulled back something in October or November. Well, now it's moving direct again. So hallelujah, Mars is direct by the 23rd of February. So you'll get some forward momentum and traction when it comes to work, when it comes to career, when it comes to money and finances and resources, when it comes to skills, talents, and abilities. But again, watch the pocketbook, Gemini, because I can see you making money this month and possibly quite a bit of money this month, but I can see you burning through it just as fast. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Now the full moon, I don't think we talked about that yet. So full moon in Leo at the bottom of your sky, 24 degrees. And think back to August of 2024 is when we had a new moon in Leo, Gemini. So this is an ending. This is a culmination point, or this is just another chapter. So, you know, you just maybe started chapter 1 in August. Now this is chapter 2 or chapter 3, depending on your evolution and depending on the circumstance here. So this is highlighting something to do with learning, education, teaching, mentoring, coaching, training. Again, something to do with your skills, your talents, your abilities that you could use in the workplace. This could be highlighting a transportation issue or however it is that you get around. Mode of transportations are covered here as well. Short distance traveling or trips. The full moon is technically illuminating your 9th house as well, which we covered off. So again, the house of the gods, the house of long distance traveling, the house of foreign lands, foreign cultures, overseas, paperwork, citizenship, that could also be highlighted this month as well, around or on the 12th of February. 3rd house is also, you know, your living situation, your living circumstances, neighbors, neighborhoods, community, whatever that means to you. This could be siblings, cousins, neighbors, extended family members here too. So there's some sort of highlight or culmination point here as well. Also, if you have anything around 24 degrees Gemini, this will also be impacting you directly. So if it's your sun, this is something to do with your career or vocation. This is possibly something to do with a parent, a male. So this would be like a dad. If it's your moon, this is something to do with home, family, foundation, or a female. So it would be like a motherly figure. And if it's your rising sign, it's again, maybe your identity, your vitality, your diet, your well-being, your physical body, how you enter this world, what you're known for. Again, tying into sort of that status piece as well, Gemini. Also, Jupiter is going direct this month as well. Hallelujah for that as well. So it's full on, Gemini. Again, there's a connection back to October. So if you took a break, a well-needed break from October, November, December, January, now you have the green light, Gemini. So now it's full steam ahead, whatever that means for you, because Jupiter is in your 1st house of life and vitality and all about you. This could even be something to do with your image. Jupiter is also education, so it could be connected to that, again, connected to travel. And Jupiter is also your relationship planet as well. So relationships should get, I'm not going to say easier, but at least some forward momentum, because it depends on, you know, Jupiter. If you got cracks in your relationships, Jupiter's just going to expand that, and I can go down the rabbit hole with that. But anyway, you should get some forward momentum this month regardless, with all these planets going direct, except Venus. She is in shadow, but she's still technically direct for the month of February. Otherwise, Gemini, enjoy the month ahead, and we'll talk to you back here in March. Bye for now. Hey, Cancer, let's talk about where I think your focus is going to be for the month of February. So let's first talk about your Aquarius house, which is your 8th house. This is all about big life changes, big life transformation. So what areas of life do you want to change and transform, Cancer, for your highest good? That could be the focus continuing from January into February. Also, the 8th house is about financial resources as well. This could be a focus on your financial books, your bank account, so to speak, or your partner's finances or resources or assets that you have with another person. This could be in love or business or with a family member as well. 8th house is the mundane day-to-day stuff too. So taxes, debts, loans, mortgages. It is tax season, I guess, depending on where you are on the planet. So you could be doing your taxes this month. So the sun is definitely supporting you from that aspect, and Mercury as well, because Mercury doesn't dive into Pisces until the middle of February. So great time to get your taxes done, Cancer, if you can, but if not, don't worry about it, because this house will activate your thoughts, your feelings towards it, and get sort of the paperwork ready to go so you can file your taxes if you do that on your own, or if you utilize an accounting company, for example, or somebody else like a third party to do that for you. So once the sun, though, and Mercury move into Pisces, you have a loaded area of life here. So the 9th house is all about religion, spirituality, legal matters, higher education, teaching, traveling, training, anything to do with foreign lands, foreign culture. So overseas, we're talking, not so much your local community, but bigger overseas matters or citizenship, immigration, passports, paperwork, things like that. This is also the house of the gods. This is the house of pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, Cancer. With Saturn up here, for those of you that have been studying something since 2023, Saturn's been by your side supporting you, and anything that you're doing right now is crystallizing into form, so you can take that with you into your 10th house when Saturn and Neptune dive in there later on this year. So this is excellent for career moves for those of you that are still working, and for those of you that aren't working, again, this would be, what is the legacy? This is going to be part of the legacy that you leave behind, something that you're learning now or finding out now or have been for several years. Or for some of you, this is, again, diving into spirituality or finding spirituality again, or whatever that means for you, metaphysical stuff. 9th house is also astrology. For those of you that are interested in learning anything to do with astrology or astronomy or the stars or the gods or ancient times or the past or anything like that, Akashic records, this is definitely a really incredible supportive transit that's going to, again, stand the test of time thanks to Saturn being in this area of life for you, Cancer. So multiple new beginnings are happening here. It started even last month when Venus came together with Saturn, and then we have Venus coming together with the North Node and Neptune in this area of life. Now she is going to be coming back into this area of life and reconnecting with the North Node and Neptune and Saturn later on in April and May, which I'll talk about then. But I just wanted to kind of put a little nugget of information in your ear now about it, Cancer, because pay attention to what happens. Even think back to last month, middle of January, when we had this conjunction with Venus and Saturn. So something started even back then and will continue into this month. And then when she retrogrades in March and April, she's going back over old ground. So again, this is just her coming back to cross the T's and dot the I's, so to speak. So don't get frustrated if you find that there's sort of slow starts to this area of life, especially for those of you that are going back to school or have started a new semester in January and you feel like it's been slow going or very challenging. Keep at it, because you just never know. Well, I think this is going to be a happy ending, Cancer, regardless, because all this energy is flowing into your sign. And Mars in your sign is giving you the action, the passion, the motivation and drive to go after whatever it is that you want. And if schooling doesn't resonate, again, take this as teaching, mentoring, coaching, training, learning something new, learning anything new. Doesn't have to be going back to school, or maybe citizenship, paperwork. You know, you're trying to move to a different country, you're trying to get out of the country, whatever the case may be. This should land by middle of 2025. You should start seeing something crystallize and come into form by then. But it doesn't mean you can't have benefits coming in sooner than that. Like I said, this is where it comes down to your personal birth chart and how this is impacting you personally and the aspects it's making to your Cancerian planets, placements, or points as well. So speaking of new beginnings, you have a new moon in this area of life. Now I'm going to jump around here. This is February the 27th at 9 degrees of Pisces. So if you have anything around 9 degrees of Cancer, this is going to add an additional layer. So if it's your sun, this would be something to do with your career, your vocation, your vitality, your health and well-being, or father figures, Cancer. Or if you're a boss, this could be something to do with you as an authority figure, or father figures in your life, or bosses in your life as well. If it's your moon, this would be something to do with home, family, living circumstances, living situation, ancestry, roots, your place of living. If it's your rising sign, this could be something to do with your health and well-being, health of the body. Maybe you need to seek medical health care elsewhere, whether it's out of state, out of town, out of province, out of country, whatever the case may be. But this could also be healing or new beginnings with your physical body as well, or how you enter the world. This is the lens. The rising sign is sort of the lens, the glasses we wear of how we view the world and how the world views us as well. So again, tying into that status, you know, the legacy that you want to leave behind, Cancer. So lots of new beginnings here, and Venus popping into your 10th house this month. This is great for your career, by the way. And she'll be in here for quite some time if you include the retrograde cycle. But for the month of February, she will be or should be giving you gains in this area of life. So whether this is money, whether this is, by the way, for those of you that are single, you could actually meet somebody possibly in the workplace. There could be a workplace connection here when it comes to love, romance, and dating. But Venus also rules money and our value systems as well, right? So being passionate about the work that you do. And again, if you're not working, apply this to your day-to-day. You know, again, the legacy you want to leave behind. How do you want to contribute to society? Are you a dog walker? Are you, you know, I just heard something to do with like fitness or like going to the gym or something. You know, do you volunteer from that perspective, Cancer? So again, apply this to your situation. But regardless, Venus is a magnet, and she usually brings in benefits through other people when she is in this area of life. So hopefully this transit, Cancer, will line your pockets, whether from a work endeavor or from some sort of financial endeavor as well. Could be also from an older sibling. I'm going to put it out there as well, because she rules your 11th house of older siblings and friendship circles. So this could be benefits coming in from friends or older siblings or clubs or groups or associations or unions that you belong to. Benefits coming in from family too, because she does rule your 4th house of home, family, foundation as well, Cancer. So there could be benefits here coming in on the home front or benefiting your home in some way, shape, or form. Really good idea too, if you have an office, you could beautify your office with this transit as well, with Venus moving through the 10th house, maybe bringing in a little bit of feng shui into whether it's the home or the office. Probably would be kind of a cool thing to do while Venus is up here in Aries as well. Okay, let's jump to this full moon in Leo. So this is happening on the 12th of February, and this is in your 2nd house, Cancer. Again, of money, of finances, of resources, of work, how you earn a living or how you line your pockets. Or again, if you're not working, how do you pay the bills? How do you pay the taxes? How do you pay the utilities? Things like that. How does money come to you if you're not working? This is also could be about your skills, your talents, your abilities as well, Cancer. Monetizing them in some way, shape, or form could be a possibility as well. This could be new work, because full moons are an ending or culmination point. Think back to August of 2024. This is when you started something new in this area of life, or perhaps an opportunity to start something new back in August. Or this could be just a second chapter of the book that you're writing, so to speak. You know, the book of life that you're writing, so to speak. I don't mean quite literally a book, unless it is in your situation, Cancer. But again, this is just a next chapter, a culmination of something that was started back in August, and you're seeing something come to light or something come to fruition now. Again, a simple example would be going back to school, learning something new, and you're just moving into a new semester. Or maybe you wrapped up year one, now you're moving into year two, or your final year, or whatever the case may be, Cancer. Something that you can monetize here is big for the Cancerians out there, because once Saturn and Neptune move into your 10th house, this is definitely going to crystallize the career of your dreams, Cancer. And again, if that doesn't resonate, this would be the retirement of your dreams, planning for retirement. Again, the legacy, that what do you want to leave behind? What do you want to be known for, Cancer? But anyway, that's a bigger story. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. The full moon is also shining a spotlight on that 8th house, which we talked about. So again, taxes, debts, loans, mortgages, dealing with banks, dealing with accountants, dealing with lawyers. This could be big life transformation that you're focusing on for the month of February, or this could be a partner's finances or resources that you're kind of focusing on, how they're earning a living, how they're contributing to the household or the financial debt or whatever the case may be, Cancer. Maybe it's time to level the playing field when it comes to who pays for who, or shared bank accounts are coming into the spotlight in some way, shape, or form. So again, this could be about transforming something in your life that's just not working. And it's time, it's kind of like the buck stops here, changes have to be put in place, and then how do we move on from this, or how do we carry forward with this? And yes, Mars, the big story here. I feel like I've been talking about this for such a long time. October, think back to October of 2024, Cancer. You should get some sort of traction. If there's something that you started back then and it kind of stalled out, or it dulled out, or maybe you lost interest altogether, now it's time to pick that back up, especially when Mars goes direct on the 23rd of this month. He still will be in your sign, so I have no doubt he is firing you up on all cylinders, Cancer. I don't think this is a bad thing, but yeah, when he's retrograde, it can be very challenging. It can be very scratchy. It can make you very irritable. It can cause inflammation in the body. It can cause you to get sick. But the interesting thing is, with Mars in the 1st house, usually makes you very resilient to illnesses and colds and flus and things like that. But when he's retrograde, it really depends. You know, this is where it depends on how this is hitting your birth chart personally. But if you've been healthy up to this point, Cancer, knock on wood, because that's a good thing. That's a blessing that Mars brings when he transits that 1st house, because he heats you up from the inside out, meaning he'll kill off all those little bugs and viruses that we can catch sometimes. But anyway, take advantage of this. I think Mars is gonna be here for quite a while yet, till the middle of April. So I'll remind you again next month, Cancer, but the good thing is he's moving forward. So the frustration, I'm hoping any sort of frustration that you've been having for the last several months, I'm hoping will lift, and all of us get some traction. And Cancer, again, this is your 1st house, so it really could be any area of life. This could be finally getting traction with relationships, your business, your career, retirement, finances, loved ones, marriage partnerships, home, family, foundation. What else here? Or maybe something to do with your kids. Maybe your kids are you know, going back to work or going back to school or getting back into a routine in some way, shape, or form, with Mars going direct, because Mars does rule your 5th house of children, and this could extend to grandchildren as well. So if they've been dealing with anything, maybe they're going to finally get some traction and some forward momentum this month in February as well, which is good news. All in all, Cancer, I think this, this pileup of this pileup of planets in Pisces is really supporting you and Scorpio and also the earth signs as well. So you get the beneficial end of this stick with all this pileup of energy, Cancer, in your 9th house. So this is incredible energy coming in. Also, I just heard for you synchronicity. So synchronicity will probably kick back up as well because Jupiter is going direct in your 12th house, and the blessings are going to continue because Jupiter is going to come into your sign this year, I meant to say in June, but I'll make a separate video about that. We'll talk about that later on. Otherwise, Cancer, enjoy the month of February, and we'll see you back here next month. Bye for now. Hey Leo, let's talk about where your focus, I think, will be for the month of February. Now, before I dive into the Pisces area of your chart, let's first talk about where the sun is illuminating, which is your relationship sector. So it's all about love or business or friends or family relationships. Anyone that you have a one-on-one or one-to-one relationship with, Leo, will be some of your focus this month, I believe. Now, this could also, Leo, be about contracts, agreements, negotiations, signing on the dotted line with something or someone, or again, something to do with a marital partnership as well, Leo. So that will be the focus. But once the Sun and Mercury move into Pisces, this is a huge pileup of energy and new beginnings happening in your 8th house. So, Leo, I have a feeling a lot of Leos out there are going to be changing their lives quite literally over the next several years. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but it's starting now. It's planting those seeds of intention of what you want to manifest in this 8th house, which is a financial house. But this is also the area of life of big life change. This is the house of transformation. This is Pluto's domain, so to speak. So this could be about deep psychological shifts and changes with you mentally, emotionally, psychologically, or spiritually. Leo, good time to start a business for those of you that haven't already started a business. Again, Saturn has been crystallizing something in this area of life beginning in 2023. This is the house of death and rebirth, quite literally. Leo, you, Phoenix, coming out of the ashes. I'm not saying you're going to die, but I mean, again, think of death and rebirth as, you coming out from the ground, so to speak, being reborn as a new you, as something that you want to launch into society, Leo. Think of it as that way. It's also a mundane house, so it's about taxes, debts, loans, mortgages, all those heavy things that we deal with day to day. What do they say? What's guaranteed in this lifetime? Taxes and death, right? Taxes and death. Gotta love that in the 8th house. 8th house is also about sexuality and deep intimacy and anything to do with anything you're passionate about too, Leo, whether it's behind closed doors or in the public eye, or again, through a business, how you express yourself, Leo. And this is also the house of fear, power, and control, which again, Neptune here has been helping you dissolve that. What are you afraid of, or what sort of control issues have you been dealing with since 2011, 2012? Neptune is helping you dissolve in this area of life as well, where Saturn, the great builder, is helping you build back up to be stronger than ever before once Saturn and Neptune move into Aries. So new beginning after new beginning after new beginning in this area of life, Leo. And that started back in January when Venus came together with Saturn in this area of life. And she's going to be coming together with the North Node and Neptune the first week of February. So again, new beginnings, triple new beginnings possibly, and one dusted with fate, fortune, destiny, magic, because we're dealing with the North Node. So dealing with the North Node is similar to Uranus. It's kind of like you don't know what you're going to get, and you don't know which path you're going to be nudged on. The nodes are going to be bringing in fated people, places, things into your life as well over the next couple years, Leo. And 8th house, if I didn't already mention it, yeah, this is a financial house. So again, this could be, again, lining your pockets, Leo, or this could be about partnership, you getting into bed with someone regarding finances, resources, shared assets, debts, loans, signing on the dotted line with someone, whether it's a mortgage, whether it's moving in together, whether it's finding that business partnership or investor or something along those lines, Leo. So Venus is in here, and Saturn is trying to help you build your wealth as well, Leo, is what I'm getting at. Now she's going to come back to this area of life and kind of clean up something that she missed in January and in February. I'm getting ahead of myself here. This is going to happen in April-May timeframe when she comes back to this area of life. I'm mentioning it now because if you feel like, well, I haven't had any starts, or maybe you feel like you had a false start in this area of life, well, that could come back around, because Venus is going to clean up what she kind of left behind. She forgot to cross the T, dot the I, whatever the case may be. Maybe it's something to do with taxes, Leo. Maybe you put in your taxes this month and you forgot to do something. Venus coming back around is going to help you readjust your finances, or make sure you get that bigger tax rebate back based on your personal circumstances. So we also have a new moon here at 9 degrees of Pisces on the 27th of February. I'm kind of jumping around here a little bit, but again, emphasizing this new moon in this area of life. What seeds do you want to plant in this area of life that are going to manifest over the next 6 months? But again, the new beginnings that are happening this month are scattered all throughout January and February with those conjunctions to Saturn, to Neptune, and to the North Node as well, Leo. I'm going to put it out there as well. With Venus moving through the 8th house, well, wherever Venus goes, we could meet somebody new. And you being in the 8th house of sexuality, you could have met someone already. And then Venus moving into the 9th house, well, this is love at a distance. This could be meeting someone from foreign lands, foreign cultures, somebody completely, totally different that you normally don't date, Leo. So if you are single and looking for love, my only recommendation would be to take it slow, just because she is in her shadow period right now. She doesn't go direct until retrograde until March and April. But again, there might be something you're not seeing if it's a new person, if it's a brand spanking new person. Even if it's someone that comes back from the past, maybe at a distance, maybe not, there might be something you're just not seeing clearly. So my recommendation would be wait until the middle of 2025 if you want to get married, if you want to elope. If you're like, nope, this is the love of my life and I'm going to go get married, then you do you, Leo. I just feel like for all of us, there's something that we're not quite seeing here with this Venus retrograde. So I'm just going to put it out there. But otherwise, Venus moving through your 9th house overall is extremely good for those of you with a business with international ties or international connections or internet connections. Should do well. Wherever Venus goes, she usually lines our pockets, and she brings in that joy and abundance and love and glitter and glam, stuff that, we like, Leo. So this could be good news, or should be good news on the financial front. But again, when she goes retrograde, watch how you're spending money. Or again, watch how you're connecting with those loved ones, whether new or old, especially if they recently came into your life or recently came back into your life, so to speak. Venus here is really great for learning something new, teaching, education, mentorship, paperwork, citizenship, passports, things like that, legal system, justice system, things like that. It's really beneficial for. This is the house of the gods too, Leo. So this could be about synchronicity coming in. This could be downloads coming in. This could be about publishing or writing or blogging, or something to do with, sorry, they're chattering to me and I'm losing my track. I'm losing my thoughts here. Man, oh man, sorry about that, Leo. They started chattering and I lost my train of thought. Anyway, this is, I know for some of you, this is going to be galactic, like channeling is kind of what I heard as well. But I know some of you want the more practical side of this. So anyway, regardless, 9th house is fantastic. Like I said, for education, mentorship, teaching, coaching, if you're into any of those things, long distance traveling, connecting with, actually, if you're connected with someone, Leo, this would be really nice to go overseas and travel with your partner and take a break and bring the romance back into the relationship as well. I'm not saying you lost it, Leo, but if you're, for those of you that are connected to someone, really nice time to get away from it all and maybe go someplace hot or warm and just bask in the sun and do your Leo thing. Oh, and the nice thing is, if I didn't already mention it, Venus is bringing you blessings in from this house as well, because she's trining your Leo planets placements point. So if it's your sun, could be something to do with your career. If it's your moon, it could be something to do with home, family, foundation. If it's your rising sign, it could have something to do with your identity, how you look. I would just caution that again with the Venus retrograde. Don't go crazy yet, Leo, because again, when she goes direct, you might regret that hairstyle or the wardrobe change, or if you're having any sort of surgeries done, I would just caution against anything new that you introduce when it comes to your image around this time. But all in all, she's bringing in blessings to your Leo planets placements and points. And yes, how can I forget, Leo? We have a full moon in your sign this month as well. So I feel like, well, yeah, I think we're halfway to your birthday season. Whenever the sun moves through Aquarius, it's like halfway to Leo season. And on top of it, you got a full moon in this area of life. So in your area of life, I should say. So Leo, think back to August of 2024. This is where we had a new moon in your sign. So this is where, you know, chapter 2 begins, or an ending, or a culmination point, or something comes to light, or something changes or shifts or pivots. Now, since this is in your first house, Leo, this could really be about anything: your identity, your work, your career. It is shining a spotlight again on your relationships. So this could be about love, business, friendships, family, again, your connection to another person. Home, family, foundation too, could be, there could be something coming up as well regarding that, or even spirituality, or something that you're working on behind the scenes. So Leo, again, apply this to your circumstances. But again, this is an ending, a culmination point, a finish line, or again, just wrapping up one thing and moving into another thing. So think back to August of what was, what started back then for you. Let's see here. Now we have Mars. Yes, Mars is still in Cancer. And yes, this can kind of be scratchy, Leo. I feel like I've been saying that. I feel like I've been talking about this for a long time. So October of 2024 is when Mars was back in Cancer, where he started this shadow period. So we might finally get traction on something, Leo, in this area of life, but it is a hidden area of life. So for you, this might just be restlessness, restless sleep, restless nights, not being able to sleep. There we go, for a full, 6 to 8 hours or whatever your cycle is. This could be about working on something behind the scenes, and you're ready to launch that out perhaps once Mars hits your energy, your sign, or whatever you're watching for. This is really maybe even something to do with the psyche, Leo, whether you realize it or not. You do have a loaded 8th house, which is very psychological, and the 12th house is being activated too by Mars. So again, maybe this is something to do with the psyche. Maybe this is something to do with dreamland. Maybe this is something to do with past life regressions, if you're into that. But this is really about solitude and taking a time out, Leo. So I hope you were able to do that between, let's say, October of 2024 to now. Hopefully you were able to kind of take a break, take a time out, because now once Mars moves into your sign, which won't be till April, by the way, so we still got a long ways to go. But then now I feel like that's almost like a new start for you, a new beginning, which it technically is. With Mars coming together with your planet placement point in Leo, that's a new 2-year cycle that you're starting, which I will mention and talk about in April, when he fires you back up, when he moves you back into your sign. 12th house could also be about healing, Leo. So maybe you've been on a healing journey since October of 2024. So that should be wrapping up. Again, we have until April, so I have to keep reminding myself that Mars is still going to be in here for quite some time. But this is also the house of just letting go, Leo. This is literally cleaning out the closet so you can move into a brand new cycle. You have so many new beginnings piling up this month with Mars, with the stellium that's happening in the 8th house. So Leo, very exciting times. Let's see, I don't want to miss anything here. Yeah, I think that is about it. So enjoy the month of February, and we'll see you back here in March. Bye for now, Leo. Hey, Virgo, let's talk about your focus for the month of February, or where I think your focus is going to be. So before I dive into the Pisces area of life, which is across the street from you, let's talk about where the sun currently is still transiting in your 6th house of Aquarius. So this is all about whatever you do on a day-to-day basis. So do you work? Do you work for yourself? Do you own a business, run a business? Do people work for you? Or do you work for an employer, or are you retired? So even if you're retired, what do you do on a day-to-day basis? This could also be shining a light on exercise routines or regimes, or how you take care of your physical health and well-being, how you take care of your body. Virgo could be in focus this month. Also, this is the house of animals as well. So maybe the focus has been taking care of a pet, or if you work for an animal shelter or something to do with animals. I just heard vet services. So, okay, that definitely housed in the 6th house. So anything to do with those areas of life, Virgo, that could be your focus for the month of February. Now, this loaded 7th house for you, Virgo. Oh my goodness, this is pretty straightforward. This is all about relationships, new beginnings after new beginnings after new beginnings after new beginnings. Yeah, you have like 4 new beginnings happening in the month of January and February in this area of life, Virgo. So when I say relationships, it's all walks of life, okay? It's not always about love, unless that's what you want to hear, then you can take this as all about love. But 7th house is also business partnerships, business relationships, or connections regardless with one-on-one people, or our one-to-one connection. So this could be with family, this could be with friends. Yes, this could be in love, and this could be in business as well. This could even be connections with people in our community, in our city, in our town, in our state, within our country, wherever the case may be. So that is up for multiple new beginnings, Virgo. And plus, you know, as I mentioned, Venus, when she started her journey here in January, she made a connection with Saturn. This is what started something new in the middle of January. And then beginning of February here, she's making a connection to Neptune and the North Node. Now, if you're saying to yourself, well, I didn't start anything new, I didn't notice anything. So she's going to come back to this area of life. She's saying, okay, I forgot to cross the T, I forgot to dot the I, I forgot to connect with this person, I forgot to connect with that person. So she's going to come back to Saturn, the North Node, and Neptune in April and May. So I'll talk about it then, but I want to put this little nugget of information in your ear now, because it's something I want you to pay attention to. Again, whether it's love or business or family or friendships or something connected with money or marriage or contracts, agreements, and or negotiations, Virgo. So there's something here that's starting, and she's going to come back and kind of like polish something before she moves back into Aries after her retrograde period. Now, on top of it, Virgo, you have a brand new beginning here this month, a new moon. I know I've been saying new beginnings a lot, but I mean, technically when a planet comes together with another planet, that's a new beginning. So Venus is activating 3 new beginnings in this area of life, plus we have a new moon here. So if you have anything around 9 degrees of Virgo, this is going to add an additional layer to this new beginning. So if it's your sun, this would be something to do with your career, your business, or place of work, or your health and vitality, or it could also be male figures or father figures in your life. If it's your moon, something to do with home, family, foundation, or mother-like figures in your life. It could also be, the moon's also tied into our health and well-being, but our emotional body as well. If it's your rising sign, this could be, extra emphasis on a business associate or a new contract or something that you need to renegotiate, or a marriage or a marital contract or a love relationship coming in. There's some sort of new beginning being planted this month with regards to that. Could also be tied into your identity. I also heard for you, Virgo, something to do with place of living. You know, it's not in your fourth house, but I mean, maybe there's a connection here, or maybe you have something in Sagittarius. Jupiter is going direct. That is your home, family, foundation planet too. That's going direct this month. But anyway, I'll take a step back here. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. But regardless, Virgo, lots of new beginnings here with relationships, new people coming into your life. With the North Node here, this is people, places, and things coming into your path, coming onto your path for a reason. So this is bigger than February. This is bigger than just this month. But regardless, this is a flavor and a theme that's going to be playing out for you over the next several years. Now let's jump to this full moon in Leo on the 12th this month. So this is in a hidden area of your birth chart. So this could be about synchronicity. This could be about spirituality. This could be about, well, this is an ending in the house of endings, Virgo. So this is about finally wrapping something up so you can finally move forward with something or someone or a situation. If you dabble in the metaphysical world, or if you have a business, something to do with health and well-being, again, there could be a connection here. There could be an ending, a culmination point, or just wrapping up chapter 1 so you can finally move on to chapter 2. We got a lot of finally forward momentum this month with Mars and Jupiter going direct. So you could notice a lot of traction this month in multiple areas of life that were stalled out. Think back to October of 2024 or even November of 2024. Something might have stalled out for you, Virgo, back then. Finally, we're kind of like getting some traction. This full moon's also shining a spotlight on that 6th house, which we talked about, the sun illuminating. So again, something to do with work, something to do with duty and responsibility, something that you're sort of, I just heard a calling, something to do with a calling that you're meant to do. Again, I know I keep mentioning health and vitality. You are the sign of that. So I have no doubt that is important to you in some way, shape, or form. Or mindfulness is also coming in as well. This could also be something to do with a pet or the health and well-being of a pet. But regardless, this is an ending. You can finally close that chapter and let's move on to something else. And keep in mind, you're one of the signs, Virgo, you might already start to feel something this month with the eclipses. We're going to have eclipses next month. I'll talk about it next month. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but you might feel the rumble, grumble, bumble, because at the end of the day, over the next 2 years, there's something about your identity or something about your status, your reputation, something about maybe your health and well-being that needs to be left behind once and for all so you can lean into and move into all that Piscean energy across the street from you. You know, maybe it could quite, well, I mean, I don't want this video to be too long, but I mean, lean into spirituality, lean into meditation, lean into something that lights you up, lean into a bigger purpose, lean into that calling, you know, lean into something new that you say to yourself, man, this isn't me, but in a good way though. I don't mean in a toxic way, but in a good way. Anything toxic, again, that's where you need to let that go. A habit, a routine, something that's not working for you. And again, it could be career, it could be home life, it could be a relationship, because you got lots of new people coming in. So if you're holding on to a relationship, Virgo, that is not working, but you're holding on for dear life and you're like, oh my God, this is my identity. My identity is wrapped up in this partner. My identity is wrapped up in this career. My identity is wrapped up in this big fancy house that I own. That might be something to think about, because all this energy and even Jupiter is challenging you to step beyond that, Virgo. Step beyond that and challenge yourself to do something new that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, but in a good way. Okay. Venus, yeah, let's talk. Did we talk about Venus? No, I don't think so. So Venus in your 8th house. Hopefully this will line your pockets, Virgo. So 8th house energy is all about big life change, which I already, was on my soapbox about. This is also about your finances, your partner's finances and resources could get a boost. This is benefits coming in. So benefits coming in from taxes, from business partnerships, from love partnerships, from relatives, from people at a distance, from social media, the internet, education, teaching, work, whatever you do on a day-to-day basis to, how do you pay your taxes, your rent, your mortgage, your utilities, things like that. But this is good news for the 8th house. Also really good energy for love and meeting someone new. This is the house of sexuality. So this is going to possibly rev you up, especially with Mars going direct. This month, our sex drives will finally be reactivated after being, sleeping for quite some time. But anyway, if you do meet anyone new though, Virgo, if you are single and looking to mingle, so to speak, just go slow. That would be my recommendation, just because Venus technically is in shadow. If we meet anybody new and we get hot and heavy with them really fast, I'm not here to judge, but if you want to elope, if you want to start sharing bank accounts, that's when I would be like, whoa, 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 pump the brakes, Virgo. Reason why I say that is because this person might look different come middle of 2025 when she comes out of this retrograde period. And take this as business partnerships too. Like if you get like a really cool proposal or something that's too good to be true from a financial standpoint, use that intuition, Virgo. I'm just going to caution you with that because the money planet is in shadow, meaning she's not functioning at 100% her best. She doesn't function well either in Aries, but it doesn't mean she's like toxic or bad. This isn't a bad thing. It just means go slow. Go slow, go with the flow, put it on cruise control, Virgo, and just see how it goes over the next 6 months. Because before you know it, I hate to say it, life is really going to speed up in 2025. So I hate to say it, but June and July are going to be here before we know it. So not too Debbie down, moving too fast here. And then yes, Mars going direct in your 11th house. This could have been scratchy for friendship circles, unions, professional associations you belong to, your long-term commitments and goals. You might have been confused or kind of going back and forth about that. Gains could have been slow, maybe, Virgo. So again, that should pick back up. But the good news, like I said, at least Mars is finally going direct this month, and maybe it's time to cut and sever a relationship in this sector, Virgo. This might not be for all of you. This has got to be your true 11th house. So, and at the end of the day, Mars is working in your favor and bringing you opportunities from these friendship circles, groups, gains from your employment or work or business or whatever you do on a day-to-day. This is good news. This could also be passion, motivation, action, drive going towards humanitarian efforts as well, Virgo, which I really like for you as well. But yeah, there might be a friendship that needs to end, or an association you need to cut ties with. Maybe you're just affiliated with too many things. You're paying too many dues, and it's kind of like, what do you need all that for, right? I'm just throwing out examples. I'm not saying all of this is going to come true, but hopefully at least one thing I said in this reading rings true to you, Virgo. Otherwise, that is about it. So enjoy the month of February, and we'll see you back here next month. Bye for now. Hey Libra, let's talk about where I think your focus will be for the month of February. So let's start down in your 5th house of Aquarius. So continued focus will be on kids or grandchildren. If you do have children or grandchildren, this could also be about what lights you up, Libra, from the inside out. This is where the spark of life starts. This is also the house of pregnancy, by the way. So for those of you looking to start a family, that could be a possibility, continuation from January. But this is also what I'm thinking of as creativity, self-expression, hobbies. You know, the fifth house is all about, you know, what do I want to be when I grow up? You know, this is where that spark of life comes to us. So Libra, focus is going to be on this. Focus is going to be on joy and pleasure and self-expression, and also romance and dating is in this area of life as well. So if you are dating somebody, if you are connected with someone, the sun just energizes that and emphasizes that, puts an additional oomph and heat, light, and energy into this area of life for you, Libra. Now, if you're single and looking for love, I mean, I'll just jump right to it right now. Your ruler is across the street from you right now. So she is highlighting and energizing your seventh house of partnerships as well. So this is all about marital partnerships, so current relationships, business partnerships, anybody that you're connected with at this time. My only caution, Libra, would be if you are single and looking to date, I would just ask you to take it slow. And the reason why I say that is because Venus is in shadow. She has been in shadow since the end of January, and she will be going retrograde in March. And I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but just a cautionary note here to go slow when it comes to new love or even old love coming back into the picture, or something to do or connected with money or finances or something to do with your value system. The reason why I say that is because when she goes direct later on, which again, I'll be here to talk about all the dates and stuff like this. This is just kind of a heads up right now, is this person or this situation or this business idea or this business investment, or maybe a friend comes to you and says, hey, can you loan me $50,000 to go into this business? And you're like, yeah, sure, give me the paperwork. This might all look different come middle of 2025. So I just want to kind of throw that out there right now, because this energy is active right now in the sky. So, but otherwise, I don't want to taint, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I mean, you do you, Libra, just use your intuition. And again, your romance houses, dating houses are being lit up right now, but it's up to you if you want to put yourself out there and date. Okay. I don't, you know, I'm not a believer or a fan of somebody just dropping out of the sky and landing on our doorstep. We have to initiate it, right? We have to put ourselves out there. So if you're not interested in dating or romance or anything like that, again, take this as business, take this as creative projects that you're trying to get off the ground, or again, focusing in on your kids and your one-on-one relationships with them, or one-on-one relationships with family or friends or associations, people that you hang out with, Libra. Now, let's get to this Pisces area of life, because this is definitely taking up most of my chats today. So the sixth house for you, Libra, is a really heavy, dense house. It kind of has similar energy to the eighth house. It's a busy day to day. This is all about duty, responsibility, showing up. This is a house of work. So it's like showing up for work, showing up for your calling, showing up for your duty. If you are not working, then apply this to your circumstance. How do you contribute to society? How do you want to move through the world? You have multiple new beginnings starting in this area of life, and it all started middle of January when Venus was in here, activating this area of life, and she came together with Saturn, and she'll be coming together with the North Node and Neptune beginning of February here. And she will come back to this area of life, Libra, in April, May timeframe. But again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. I'm just kind of like giving you some nuggets right now to kind of think about and to pay attention to what happens the next few months when it comes to work, when it comes to duty, maybe when it comes to pets and animals. Something maybe even to do with your health and well-being and how you're taking care of the body. Maybe this is something to do with an elimination diet or something that you need to get rid of once and for all. Again, this could be about a relationship. This could be about money, finances, resources, how you earn a living. Libra, if you ever wanted to change jobs or get a new career going, now is the time to do it. Well, you've had Neptune in here since 2011, 2010, 2011, 2012. Saturn's been in here since 2023, helping you rebuild something in this area of life, whether it's rebuilding your confidence, rebuilding your image, rebuilding your duty, responsibility, giving you a backbone, quite literally, Libra. You know, Saturn rules the bones, the teeth, the skin. Something to do with healthcare regimes. Hopefully once Saturn gets out of here, you'll have a solid healthcare routine or a solid business plan. Even if you're a business owner, Libra, this is about people that you work with or work with you. This is also, could be out rental agreements as well. So if you're one of those folks that like rent out homes or own an apartment building or something like that, sixth house is anything to do with rental things or rental agreements or people that you rent to, or maybe vice versa. So apply this to your circumstance and your situation, Libra, but very busy house. And again, I have no doubt you've been putting in the work, Libra, whether you're working or not working, you're putting in the work towards something to make your life better in this area of life, or again, your health and well-being better in this area of life. Now, speaking of new beginning, also we do have a new moon here as well. So planting those seeds of intention on or around the 27th of February in this area of life of what you want to manifest. Like I know that's probably confusing. You have multiple new beginnings with Venus here. She activated them. Plus you have this new moon as well. I would just say, Libra, don't go overboard and don't bite off more than you can chew around this new moon in Pisces. So again, that's around the 27th, because it is making a square up to Jupiter, and that it's not a bad thing. It just means that we can go overboard with something or someone in this area of life. And it is your area of work and diet and health and well-being. So if you're going to do a crash diet, I would go slow, because again, Jupiter might, we don't want you fainting. You don't want to get sick. You don't want to lose too much weight. You don't want to put the body in shock, for example. And same with a work endeavor, right? Or a business endeavor. You don't want to say yes, 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 yes. And the next thing you know, you're beyond overwhelmed. You know, with Jupiter going direct, it can definitely take that angle of, okay, time to ramp up again. Something that's been sitting dormant since October of 2024. You know, it's like, okay, life speeds up now with all of these planets going direct. Jupiter is going direct. Mars is going direct. So all of that momentum is going to start picking up again. So just think balance, Libra. Well, you are the epitome of balance. So just think about that around this new moon. Now we have a full moon in the Leo area of life, shining a spotlight on this 11th house. So this could be about, I think I mentioned some of it, friendship circles, people that you hang out with, unions, memberships, professional associations, humanitarian efforts. This is about your gains, the house of gains. So hopefully, again, maybe something that lost traction late 2024, maybe you're finally getting paid, or finally something is coming back around, or a new work opportunity or a new client, job. Again, apply this to your circumstance, but this is the house of gains. This could have something to do with your health. Or sorry, not your health. What was I going to say? Your long-term commitments and goals is in this house as well. So maybe this is an ending. This is a culmination point. So again, there might be some shifts and pivots in this area of life, or you're kind of like, okay, I closed one chapter. Now it's time to start working on chapter 2. This is also shining a spotlight down on your 5th house, which we talked about. Kids, grandchildren, joy, love, romance, dating, self-expression, creativity, what lights you up from the inside out. So this full moon is also shining a spotlight on that 5th house, bringing something to your attention, something to fruition, or again, this is a closing out, an ending in this area of life, or one of these areas of life, Libra. Now, Mars going direct in your 10th house, I can just imagine how frustrating this has been, Libra, for you, for those of you that are working. Very frustrating on the work front. You know, when Mars is retrograde, very scratchy energy, very irritable energy for us and everybody else around us. So of course it depends on how you take this energy. I'm not going to say, I guess everyone is frustrated, but most people I've spoken to, yeah, this energy has been kind of challenging with Mars going retrograde. So now he's finally going direct. Libra, If you ever want to get rid of a job, this is about cutting, ending, severing something to do with your status, your reputation, something to do with, I just heard a legal matter or a legal battle. Maybe you'll finally start getting some traction. Again, think back to October. This is when Mars went retrograde in this area of life for you. So something now is picking up steam. Maybe this is the final straw and you're like, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm cutting, ending, severing this relationship, this contract, and I'm totally out of here. And again, for those of you not working, apply this to your situation. This could be, if it's not your career, it could have something to do with retirement, plans for retirement, or maybe some of you are like, you know what, I'm out of here. Like, oh my God, I'm not working anymore. This shoves you into retirement maybe, or planning for retirement, or thinking about retirement. If this is activating your IC, your home line, then this could be thoughts about moving or renovating or changing your living circumstances in some way, shape, or form. Or again, scratchy interactions with family members. You know, again, this is making all of us a little bit irritable with parents, with people in authority, you know, things like that. Mom, dad, bosses, coworkers, colleagues, the environment, things like that. Libra. So the good news is, you know, I don't want to paint Mars with a bad brush. If we did not have Mars, we would literally have no motivation, no drive, no nothing. So the good news is he is going direct, but he will be here until middle of April up in your career sector, Libra. So yeah, this can cause some problems, but for those of you that want to get the hell out of a work relationship, this is the time to do it. You have until middle of April to cut and sever that tie and move on to something brand spanking new. Again, you have a new beginning, multiple new beginnings in your house of work, Libra. So again, I really see new work or new volunteer opportunities or new business opportunities coming your way. And Venus, your ruler, in your opposite sign of relationships, is also helping you sign on the dotted line with something that you actually want, Libra. Okay, let me see here. I think that is about it. Otherwise, enjoy the month of February and we'll see you back here next month. Bye for now. Hey, Scorpio, let's talk about where I think your focus will be for the month of February. Let's start with the sun down in your 4th house of home, family, foundation, your place of living, possibly moving, possibly renovating. If your true IC, if your true home line lands through Aquarius, that could be on your mind as well. Or maybe new rental agreements, lease agreements, mortgage agreements, anything like that could be coming down the pipe this month for you, Scorpio, especially with Jupiter going direct in your 8th house of big money. And this is dealing with, you know, banks and loans and taxes and debts and things like that. Jupiter going direct, this could be the green light, Scorpio, on finding a new place of living, if that does resonate with you. Otherwise, this is just extra oomph, extra energy on the home front, Scorpio. Now, once Mercury and the sun moves into your 5th house, you've got this giant pileup of energy here and lots of new beginnings in this 5th house. So what is the 5th house? This is all about children, if you have any children, or grandchildren, if you have any grandchildren. And this is about love, romance, dating, self-expression, creativity, hobbies, side hustles. This is joy, entertainment, gambling, anything that lights you up, anything that gives you pleasure and joy. And lucky you, Scorpio, you have a big stellium here. I mean, with Saturn there, he can, you know, he can kind of be a Debbie Downer at times, but I mean, it's not consistent. But Saturn here has been trying to build you up on a firm foundation in this area of life. So Scorpio, new beginnings on multiple fronts, and it depends on also what you're watching for. If it's your sun, another layer would be a new beginning with a career matter or a business matter or a financial endeavor. Again, big loans, big debts, things like that could be coming to the forefront. If it's your rising sign, it could be about a relationship in business, love, romance, finances, or business partnerships, friendship circles, going into business with another person, for example, signing on the dotted line, contracts, agreements, negotiations, marriage. And Also, if it's your moon sign, again, this could be about home, family, foundation, ancestry, and quite literally your place of living. Maybe your status, your identity, what you're known for could also be up for some change and some renovation as well, Scorpio. So new beginnings here. Venus started activating this area of life last month when she came together with Saturn. So technically when two planets come together, it's a new beginning. And I mean, Venus takes about a year to go around the entire zodiac. So it's nothing new per se, but what's unusual is the North Node is also here, like really close hand in hand with Neptune and Saturn. So Venus is activating these multiple new beginnings with Neptune, the North Node, and Saturn, and then she's carrying them into your 6th house of work, of duty, of responsibility, of health and well-being, and also the area of pets as well, if you do have any animals or pets. So there's something here that you're going to be going back over old ground, Scorpio, just something that she forgot. She's like, oh, shoot, I forgot this. I forgot to wrap up this. I forgot to dot the I, cross the T, whatever the case may be. The reason why I'm talking about this now, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, because Venus is direct, and she will be direct for the month of February. She's not going retrograde until March the 1st. But I want to put this in your ear now, Scorpio. So pay attention to what happens this month, next month, and even into April. And I'll be here to remind you as well, because she's going back and forth between these two areas of life. Like I mentioned, children, creativity, self-expression, romance, dating, pregnancy, if you want to start a family, work. What does work mean to you? Are you passionate? Are you lit up about what you do for work, Scorpio? And if you're not working, this could be about health and well-being and vitality. What is your purpose? What kind of relationship do you want to call in or bring in? This could be about spirituality. This could be about awakenings. This could be about endings and new beginnings. Well, this will be about endings and new beginnings. So this is a bigger story that's going to unfold over the next several months, but also over the next year, because Venus will take an entire year to go around the zodiac. And once she comes back and meets Neptune and Saturn, they'll be in your 6th house of work, of service, of animals, of health and well-being, of duty, responsibility. Day-to-day stuff is going to be changing for you, Scorpio. Your routines are definitely going to be changing. They might have already changed. You know, this started in January. And if you're saying to yourself, well, I don't know, I didn't notice any change, well, just wait. You might not notice it until maybe she's completely direct and out of shadow. This could be the spring. This could be the summer. For those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, this could be over the next 6 months. Because with the North Node involved, you just don't know what you're going to get. This is fate and destiny stepping in and nudging you on a different path. This is bringing in new people, places, and things into your life. If you're single, Scorpio, it could be full on. There's so many activations and triggers here of meeting somebody serious, meeting somebody long term. And that's thanks to Saturn. My only caution would be, if you do meet anybody new, just go slow. I wouldn't recommend like meeting somebody new and eloping right away, whether it's a new person or an old person coming back from the past. And I don't mean old, literally old, but you know, somebody we know in our past. Exes coming back from the past. That's Venus retrograde. So I would just say take it slow and see how things go until the middle of 2025 before you get married, before you start sharing bank accounts, before you start playing house and get into a big bloated mortgage. That would be my only caution. Now, if you've been dating someone, you know, for a long, long, long time, that I'm not counting that. I'm counting if you just started dating somebody new in January, February, March, April timeframe. That's kind of what you want. I want you to kind of keep in mind, Scorpio. Just use your intuition. You're a very psychic sign. All the water signs are psychic, whether they realize it or not. They have a wicked intuition on them. So yeah, work that muscle, Scorpio, because you'll make the right decisions. I'm not trying to scare you or doom and gloom you. This isn't the end of the world. I mean, at the end of the day, you can get divorced, right? If you go to Las Vegas and get married or whatever, elope, at the end of the day, you can get divorced. So anyway, so that is lots of new beginnings down in your 5th house and continuing into your 6th house. Now, yeah, did I mention the new moon? This includes that new moon in Pisces on or around the 27th, give or take a day or two, depending on where you are on the planet. Again, this is a new beginning, another new beginning. And the luminaries, though, are supporting you with this new beginning in your 5th house. Now, the full moon in Leo, I apologize, I'm jumping around here. Full moon in Leo on the 12th is happening at the top of your chart, Scorpio. I love this for you. Is this a new job coming in for you? Is this a new business endeavor, a new client, this could even be a status, a change of status. Like maybe you're known for, I don't know, being a banker or a lawyer or something like that, Scorpio. And then now you're moving into something completely different. You're moving into entrepreneurship. You're moving into being a baker or something along those lines, or just doing a pop-up shop or a food truck or something like that, Scorpio. These are just examples, obviously, but a full moon at the top of your sky in your 10th house of career. This is usually some sort of changes in the workplace, in the business that you own or the business that you run. This is an ending, a culmination point. Now, if you're not working, this is activating retirement for you. Planning for retirement, saving for retirement. What is the legacy you want to leave behind? What are some important causes that you want to get involved with or already are involved with, Scorpio? This is just kind of like taking on the next step or taking on more duty, responsibility, taking on more of that with a humanitarian effort, for example. This is also lighting up your mom, dad, parental access too. So this could be about you as a parent. This could be about a parent, or if you're taking care of a parent, mom, dad, grandparents, or changes in a parent's life as well could be coming up this month around this full moon as well, Scorpio. Now, your ruler, I'm sure you're happy about this. Your ruler is going direct this month, and that is Mars. He's going direct on the 23rd. And, being up in Cancer, though, he hasn't been making, he's been making nice aspects to you, is what I'm trying to say. He's been actually supporting you. But again, Mars retrograde is scratchy. Like, Mars doesn't like being here. Mars doesn't like being in Cancer. And we struggle to express ourselves when Mars is here. We are driven by our emotions when Mars is in Cancer, which, might not be a bad thing, but I mean, sometimes it can get us into some hot water because we make some really rash, radical decisions when Mars is in here. So Mars being in this 9th house, this could be about anything to do with foreign lands, foreign cultures. This could be about citizenship, immigration, paperwork finally moving forward. So anything that was stuck back in October, Jupiter and Mars is going to help give you some forward momentum in 8th house, 9th house matters. So as I mentioned, anything to do with big life changes, transformation, taxes, debts, loans, money, financial resources coming through, the bank loan coming through, anything to do with, like I said, foreign lands, foreign cultures, citizenship, immigration, passports, traveling, long distance traveling will get easier now, finally, Scorpio, for those of you that move around globally. Things should go a little bit more smoother with Mars going direct. And maybe this is also educational pursuits for you as well. Anything to do with teaching, mentoring, coaching, training, educating, blogging, writing, publishing. Keep in mind, though, there could be something ending in this area of life too, because Mars cuts and severs those connections. So maybe there's something that's wrapping up. An easy example would be something to do with education. Something that you're learning is going to wrap up come April-ish time frame. And then Mars is going to hop into your 10th house of career. So moving you along with that journey of learning something new and then applying it to your day-to-day. So it's scratchy now, Scorpio, but that's coming to an end, which is good news. But at the end of the day, Mars here is really supporting you. So maybe you are one of the signs, same with Pisces, that's really been able to utilize this Mars energy, while the rest of us, yeah, this has been kind of a struggle with Mars scratching away in this area of life and bringing up things that we just have to deal with, right? That's also what retrogrades are about. They bring up things emotionally, psychologically, mentally, spiritually, physically, for us to address once and for all. Okay, and then Venus. Did we talk about Venus? Her moving into that 6th house. So this, again, should bring in benefits when it comes to work, when it comes to people that you work with. Really nice, pleasant transit. We could get some gains here. We could get some traction here. But again, she's going retrograde. So I don't want you to forget about that, is what I'm saying, Scorpio. Not the end of the world. This isn't your ruler. You've been there, done that with Mars retrograde since October of 2024. But now it's Venus's turn in this area of health, diet, routines, pets, and work. Whether you own a business, run a business, or are retired, again, this could be about spirituality, awakenings, learning something new, or this could be about relationships, because she is your relationship planet. So again, going over old ground with contracts, agreements, negotiations with regards to something to do with work, career, or employment, or rental agreements too. 6th house is something to do with rental or leases or anything like that, if you own buildings or anything like that. All right, Scorpio, that is about it. So enjoy the month of February and all these new beginnings that are sparking to life for you in this loaded 5th house. So enjoy the month ahead, and we'll see you back here in March. Bye for now. Hey, Sagittarius, let's talk about where I think your focus is going to be for the month of February. So before I jump right into your Pisces house, which is absolutely loaded up this month, let's talk about where the sun is transiting right now. So in your 3rd house of local community, this is about day-to-day busyness, errands, running the kids here, running the kids there, duty, responsibility, work, running around, transportation stuff, or however it is that you get around. This is local focus. Cousins, neighbors, siblings, your local environment is up for some extra attention the beginning of February. This is also the house of, for those of you that are like writers, bloggers, things like that, could be in focus. This is also the house of social media and internet, is in the 3rd house as well. Now, once the Sun and Mercury move into your 4th house, this is where you're going to have multiple new beginnings, which actually started in January when Venus came together with Saturn, and then Venus is coming together with the North Node and Neptune at the beginning of February. And on top of it, we have a new moon this month in your 4th house. So what is the 4th house? It's pretty straightforward. Family, home, place of living, people that you live with. Could also be about your kids too, like if you do have children. This could be about how you're taking care of yourself, Sag. Anything to do with property or properties that you own. This is about the past. This is about roots. This is about retirement, if you are retired or planning for retirement. And this is also the parental access. So if you are a parent, this is putting extra extra emphasis, extra new beginnings on something to do with you as a parent, or one of your parents could be going through new beginnings at this time as well, Sag. So new beginnings after new beginnings after new beginnings in this area of life. And I have a feeling if your true IC is here as well, this could be bleeding into your career life, into work, into status, what you're known for as well. I have a feeling, I have a hunch, because it is anything that impacts, I find the home automatically impacts whatever we do for work, whatever we do for a day-to-day basis. And again, if you're not working, apply this to your circumstance and situation. You know, what is your purpose? What is your calling? You know, what is something that you want to do from a humanitarian effort? How it is that you want to support and help your local community and ground down into your local community, Sag. Now, so that new moon, let's see here, February 27th, I'm going to jump around here a bit, so I apologize. So February 27th is when we have that new moon. So you can, around this time, plant those seeds of intention of what you want to manifest in this area of life. Quite literally, Sag, this could be a lot of you moving if this is truly your IC. Okay, so this is where, if you know your chart, great. And if you don't, again, take what resonates and leave the rest. But if your true IC falls through Pisces, this could quite literally be a push, a nudge, a shove into buying, selling of real estate and property, buying and building the house of your dreams, you know, getting into something that truly is yours, truly something that you want deep down, or something that you've been saving up for a long, long time, or perhaps moving in together with a partner could be that as well. Or this could be, for some of you, Jupiter in the 7th house. This is if there are cracks in the relationship, if there's cracks in the foundations of the relationships, and I mean love, business, work, apply this to your situation, Jupiter is going to emphasize that so you can change that. You know, so this could be a separation of assets. Mars in the 8th house is slicing and dicing as well, Sag. Now, I'm not trying to panic you all. This is for those of you this resonates with, okay? Because I do see there's lots of activations here with your house of endings. So again, separation, moving away from a job, leaving behind a career, leaving behind a job, moving into retirement, buying, selling, moving, separating, divorcing, whatever you want to call it. I'm not trying to Debbie down it, by the way. You know, Jupiter in the 7th house, this could be marriage, you know, getting remarried or reigniting that flame with your current relationship. So again, I'm not trying to doom and gloom here, Sag. It's just, I see what I see. And again, take what resonates and leave the rest. I do not have your chart sitting in front of me. So what else here? So yeah, lots of new beginnings at the bottom of your sky, extra emphasis there. And let's talk about that full moon in Leo. Now this one's at the top of your sky. Now this full moon is happening on the 12th of February. And if you have anything around 24 degrees of Sag, this is actually bringing in benefits, or should be bringing in benefits. But again, this is an ending. Full moons are endings, culmination points. Or, you know, this is up in your education sector. So maybe you wrapped up one semester and you're starting a new semester this month. Or you're wrapping up an educational pursuit and you're going to start applying it to work, job, career, whatever you want to do on a day-to-day basis. Or your business, whatever the case may be, Sag. So yeah, because for some of you, I'm hearing loud and clear entrepreneurship. So, you know, maybe some of you will be moving into entrepreneurship over the next several years, especially with this, all this energy pouring into Aries. I have no doubt lots of people are going to be flying into entrepreneurship over the next 3 years and beyond, because Aries is the epitome of the entrepreneur. And again, Aries energy flows into your Sag placements in a very nice way, Sag. So let me go back to this 9th house. 9th house is also about religion, spirituality, legal matters, teaching, education. I just heard learning and listening. So, well, it is learning for sure. Listening, sure. We'll throw that in there. Anything to do with traveling, whether it's long or short distance. Again, focus on either local community or international matters, paperwork, citizenship, passports. If there's been any delays or something that you've been working on, maybe something you put into motion back in August of 2024, this is a culmination point of this full moon of something that you put into action back in August. This is also the house, Sag, of pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, getting out there, whatever that means to you, for you. Heed that calling. This is the house of the gods after all. This is your house, by the way. 9th house is represented by, you know, that fiery, spicy Sagittarian energy. It's like think big or go home type of energy. So definitely emphasizing learning something new, definitely emphasizing your skill set, learning something, teaching something, mentoring, becoming the elder, becoming the teacher, becoming the coach, whatever the case may be, or again, going back to school, learning something new. Big emphasis on travel too, Sag. If you can travel this month, well, you are the travel sign, so what am I talking about? You want to travel all the time, probably. Okay, what else? Did we talk about Venus in your 5th house? Maybe a little bit. So Venus in the 5th house is, if you're single, this is incredible energy for meeting new people. Romance, dating, fun, flirtation. This is really good for your kids. If you have kids or grandchildren, this is the house of what lights you up from the inside out, Sag. So Venus here is going to help with that. I would just caution, if you meet anyone new, if you're single and you meet anyone new, January, February, March, April, I'd go slow. That's the only thing I would caution, because of her retrograde, there's just something we're not seeing. And this applies to all of us in at least one area of life. And she does rule money. She does rule, I also heard friendship. Oh yeah, she does rule your friendship sector. Okay, so even new friends, if new friends or new lovers come into your life, if I would caution mixing money with friendships too, unless you have the means. Like, I mean, if you're a gazillionaire, if you got the money in the bank, well, you don't need to be a gazillionaire to have money in the bank. But if a friend asks you for money or a loan, or especially new friendships, and if you don't get that money back, that's, you know, maybe that doesn't bother you. So, you know, to each of us our own. But yeah, this could be friendship circles, groups, associations, unions, professional associations you mix and mingle with. You know, there could be something here you're not seeing, which is, again, not a bad thing. It's just go slow, Sag, go slow. Yeah, and she also rules your house of work. So this could be work opportunities coming back around, more so in March, April timeframe. Again, just go slow, right? Take it slow. You might think it's a crazy good opportunity, but then you might dive into that job and be like, oh my God, I basically took on a job that I just left. You know, it's that sort of type of energy. Yes, it's good for opportunities coming back around, but we just need to understand what we're getting into or getting into bed with, literally, before we sign on that dotted line, right? Before you want to elope and go to Las Vegas, maybe pump the brakes and say, well, let's wait until June of 2025, because that's when true colors are gonna shine, Sag. So just putting it out there. I'm not here to preach. I'm just here to kind of like forewarn of what could be coming down the pipe. If you have a side hustle, things look really good with Venus in here. But again, there's something you need to reassess, because she'll be going backwards starting March the 1st in this area of life. But regardless, Venus cruising through here is really nice for side hustles, hobbies, entertainment, gambling, and lining your pockets. Now, please don't bet the farm. I'm not telling you you're going to win the lottery or get a big windfall. I need to see your personal birth chart in order to see that. So, but yeah, luck with money, luck with investments, gambling looks good, but just go slow. Go with that intuition, Sag. Let's see here. Mars is finally going direct this month up in your 8th house. So 8th house is also, we kind of touched on this, big transformational change, big life changes, cutting, ending, severing something in this area of life, cutting something loose. So this could be financial matters, marital stuff, separation of assets, taxes, debts, loans, things like that could finally start getting traction. Anything that was on the back burner, Sag, back in October of 2024, you should start seeing forward momentum this month and into March, because we have Jupiter direct and we have Mars direct. So it could be connected to a relationship, could be connected to a business, could be connected to your finances, investments, savings accounts, joint accounts. Again, this is 8th house's partner's money too. So there could be changes or restructuring in your partner's finances. Or again, maybe there's been delays with your partner's finances and now you're finally going to see some, or they are going to see some some forward momentum. I'm just talking too much today. So that's the good news, Sag. This is very good news. All the planets are direct. I love it. Your ruler is direct, finally. Hallelujah. So you'll feel better too. You'll be able to get some traction and pick up where you left off in October and November, for example. Otherwise, that is about it. So enjoy the month of February and we'll see you back here next month. Bye for now. Hey Capricorn, welcome to February, and let's talk about where I think your focus is going to be for the month ahead. So before we dive into the Pisces area of your life, let's talk about the Aquarius area of life, because that's where the sun currently is still transiting. So Capricorn, focus is on work or whatever you do for day-to-day work, however it is that you line your pockets, however it is that you make a living. So how do you, if you're not working, how do you pay your taxes, your debts, your loans, your mortgage, whatever? The sun in here will put additional oomph and focus in on that. Second house is also our skills, our talents, and our abilities. Also, you know, speaking of taxes, debts, loans, you know, it could be, it's that time of season, Capricorn, so it could be preparing for that and putting a laser focus on debits and credits. That's kind of what I'm seeing, is like balancing the books, balancing the budget, see where your money is coming and going. Pluto on here is going to make you extra intense and extra in focus about your finances and resources and how you line your pockets and how you contribute to society on possibly a global, bigger scale as well. So Capricorn, but once the sun and Mercury move into Pisces, woof, you got this stellium in your third house. Capricorn, I must say, if you have a business or even just a LinkedIn profile and you want to change your career or put yourself out there in a new way or apply for that big CEO job or CFO or whatever entrepreneurship, get yourself out on social media. And I know for some of you, you're probably chuckling, but I mean, there's a lot of people out there that don't even use social media. But with this loaded third house, Capricorn, your focus is local. It's all about your community and your neighborhood and social media and gaining traction in this area of life. This is also transportation. If you work in the transportation field or hospitality field, I think it could be a really beneficial time for you. You got multiple new beginnings happening here. This could be about how you get around or modes of transportation. Definitely a signature of if you need to upgrade your vehicle. Now could be a time to at least look into it, Capricorn, if you're not ready to, you know, move forward with it or sign on the dotted line. Start doing your research, because if you are having any transportation issues or bumps in the road, you know, start putting some energy into this area of life. The sun and Mercury and this new moon, this new beginning, is going to help amp up the energy in this area of life. Third house is the mind, how you digest information. Again, the internet, social media, how you communicate. Could be going through some review or renovation or transformation for that matter, how you digest information. Third house is about siblings, cousins, neighbors, neighborhood, your extended family member. And again, think local. This is short distance trips, short distance traveling and tripping around. This is education, learning something new. Capricorn, Saturn, your ruler, has been here since 2023, March of 2023. He's been helping you learn and build on something brand new so you can move it into, continue to move it along into the zodiac, where all this energy is going to pile into your fourth house this year as well. So Capricorn, all that stuff I just nattered off. You have a new beginning here. Well, multiple new beginnings, but the first one, well, not the first one, sorry, scratch that. We have a new moon on February the 27th. There is a new beginning starting in this area of life from a luminary perspective. So you have the support of the moon, the sun and the moon. Now, if you have anything around 9 degrees of Capricorn, this is going to incorporate into this new beginning. If it's your moon, it's something to do with home, family, foundation, female figures in your life. If it's your sun, it's your career, your work, your life vitality, maybe even something to do with bosses, you as a boss, authority figures in your life like a father or male figure. If it's your rising sign, it could really be something to do with life vitality, your health and well-being, something to do with a new beginning with the physical body, changes in the physical realm, for example, and how you project yourself onto the world. And this is also the lens, the glasses we wear of how we see the world is the rising sign, but also how the world sees us. That could be up for some change as well, Capricorn. Again, depending on what you're watching for. So plant those seeds of intention, whether this is an educational pursuit, teaching, learning, mentoring, coaching, writing, publishing, putting yourself out there, social media, business, whatever this is, Capricorn. So there's a new beginning starting on the 27th of this month. Now, the other new beginnings I'm talking about is Venus activated Saturn, your ruler, middle of January. Now, that could have been a new beginning. Technically, when two planets come together, that's a new beginning, whether it's big or small, or you didn't even notice it. Now, she's coming into contact with the North Node and Neptune the first week of February. Now, if you're saying to yourself, well, I didn't start anything new, well, she's going to come back here. So if you didn't notice something that started back then, it could have been as simple as a mind shift, right? Or how you digest information, or how you talk to yourself, Capricorn, in the mirror. You know, are you being nice? Are you giving yourself grace? It could be just something even psychological that you haven't even really noticed, perhaps. But Venus is going to come back to Saturn, the North Node, and Neptune in April, May timeframe. The reason why I'm saying this now is because I want you to kind of pay attention to what happens. It could be starting in January, especially if you did start something new in this area of life. And again, Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. So this could be quite personal to you, about you, for you. This is really going to depend on your personal birth chart and how this is impacting or talking to the rest of your chart. But this could be something very personal and intimate that only you know of. Anyway, she's coming back to this point later on in May. April-May timeframe. She's going to clean up something or wrap up something that she missed in January and in February. So, and it's magical with the North Node here too. That's what kind of makes this so rare is, yeah, Venus conjuncts all of our planets about once a year. That's like clockwork, but they're all stuffed into one area of life. So that's what kind of makes us stand up and say, okay, what is going on here in this third area of local community, of siblings, cousins, neighbors? This could also be a new beginning with them too. Maybe you're getting new neighbors. Maybe this is a new beginning with a sibling or a relative, or something to do with moving. Maybe for you, Capricorn, especially if maybe your IC is close by. The IC doesn't always land in the 4th house. It can be off to the left or off to the right in our charts as well. So maybe this has something to do with your physical location as well. But regardless, there's some sort of changes in the neighborhood for you, Capricorn, over the next, not only for the next little while, but I mean, it could take up to a year for these changes to really unfold and show themselves to us. Because again, Venus will carry the story until she comes back around and meets Neptune and Saturn and the North Node again. And Neptune and Saturn will be in brand new territory by the time she comes back around. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So Capricorn, that's the multiple new beginnings and activations that are starting January and February, and we're going to revisit them in April and May. Now, Venus at the bottom of your sky, this is really nice for home and family and foundation. This attracts, so wherever Venus goes, she gives us benefits. She attracts in benefits and good fortune into our lives. So if you work with homes or do anything to do with homes, really beneficial transit for you, Capricorn. Nice transit for lining your pockets, making some money. If you work from home, this could be a good transit as well, or a good signature as well. Really nice to feng shui your home, feng shui your space, your office, your entire home. You want to paint, you want to change the furniture around. I would just caution you because Venus is going retrograde in a month. So maybe for now, Capricorn, just tape those swatches on the wall before you completely paint your living room like a blood midnight red or something like that, Capricorn. Because yeah, Venus at the bottom of her sky really wants us to beautify and bring in those comforts locally to our living situation or space, or even our office for that matter, because Venus does rule the top of your sky, which is your career as well. Okay, and let's see. Oh, let's go to that full moon. Yeah, so the full moon in Leo is actually lighting up your financial access, which we kind of talked about with the sun illuminating your second house of money, of work, of income, how you earn a living, your skills, your talents, your abilities. So this could be an ending, a culmination point with something to do with second house matters. Now it is in your 8th house, so this could also be about taxes, debts, loans. It is the time of year. Tax season is here. So this could be about your business or your personal taxes. This could be about just wrapping something up and getting back aligned with payment plans, mortgages, debts, consolidating things, like something is coming to an ending or a culmination point in this area of life, or something's coming to light, Capricorn, with a partner's finances. This is also the house of joint assets, joint property, joint bank accounts, joint money, whether this is in business or in love, Capricorn. So something is coming to an ending, a culmination point, something that was put into motion back in August of 2024. So think back to that time frame. We're going to see an ending or a second chapter of that this month in February. And again, the full moon is February the 12th. Now Mars. Yeah, Mars has been scratching away in your 7th house. I know, Capricorn, I know this has not been easy, especially with those Pluto oppositions. I don't know about you, but yeah, very challenging when it comes to partnerships, right? Business, work colleagues, bosses, people that work for you or with you, love relationships, contracts, agreements, negotiations. If you've been trying to renegotiate something, if you've been trying to get something off the ground, Capricorn, way back in October, you should start to see traction this month, because we have Jupiter direct in your house of work. And this is the house of rental properties or rental agreements. Again, tying into the 7th house of contracts, agreements, negotiations, marriage, your business, people that work for you. If you've been trying to find people to work with you or for you, yeah, it's been probably tough with these 2 planets retrograde, but they're direct now this month. Hallelujah. Mars is still going to be in Cancer though for another, 2.5 months. So, but the good thing is he's finally direct. So it should be less frustrating. And if there's anything, Capricorn, you need to cut and sever or get rid of, this could be a relationship. I'm going to throw it out there. This isn't for everyone, but it could be a relationship, or it could be a contractual agreement. This is the time to do it. You don't have to do it like today, but I mean, you're going to feel this. You've been feeling this. What am I talking about? You've been feeling this since October. Maybe you've been trying to get rid of a relationship. Maybe you've been trying to get out of a job and it just is not working for some reason. You're going to start getting traction this month, Capricorn. So, yeah, so that is definitely the good news there. Okay, let's see here. I think that is about it that I wanted to chat about. So Capricorn, like I said, lots of new beginnings, and I forgot to mention, Pisces makes nice aspects to Capricorn placements. This is a sextile. This is opportunities coming in from that 3rd house that I yacked about. Did I mention learning? Yeah, I hope I mentioned that. Education, learning something new, Capricorn. I hope I mentioned that. Teaching, mentoring, coaching, I hope I mentioned that. Sorry, forgive me. I've been talking too much today. Opportunities coming in from this third house. Lots of new beginnings, Capricorn. So this is good news. This is good news. And although, you know, Venus activating the ruler of Saturn, also good news for us. So enjoy the month of February, Capricorn, and we'll see you back here next month. Bye for now. Hey, Aquarius, let's talk about where I think your focus is going to be for the month ahead. And of course, before I forget, happy birthday if you are celebrating a birthday this month, Aquarius. And what a month to have a birthday with all this energy piled up in your second house of multiple new beginnings, not just one, but multiple. So anyway, before I get ahead of myself here, Aquarius, the sun in your first house, this lights you up from the inside out. This is a continuation from January, and I hope you set those new moon intentions in January, at the end of January there, because that would have been your brand new birthday cycle ahead. That kind of would have been a kickstart to at least over the next 6 months, but definitely setting those intentions of what you want to accomplish over the next year or so. Really good time for vision boarding as well. So if you haven't done that yet, Aquarius, it's not too late. Let me just quickly look here. When that, yeah, January the 29th, new moon in Aquarius at 9 degrees there. But regardless, if you're an Aquarius watching this, this is your new moon to set those intentions. Do a vision board, do a little ritual thing. You don't have to spend a lot of time, but you know, what do you want to accomplish? Pluto's now in your sign, powering you up like crazy Energizer Bunny power up over the next, you know, 19 years. And who knows, by the end of this transit, maybe you're going to be half robot. Like, you just never know, right? I know some of you are probably like, wow, you're out to lunch. Anyway, the sun in your first sign, Aquarius. This is a continuation on the focus being of you, pampering yourself, making sure your health and vitality is up to snuff, setting those New Year resolutions, again, setting those intentions, what you want to manifest. Is it career? Is it love? Is it business? Is it side hustle? Is it retirement? Is it volunteering? Is it humanitarian efforts? Is it being an inventor? You know, the list goes on. The focus is definitely on you, your health and well-being, and your vitality, how you carry yourself into the world. And it's the lens, it's the glasses we wear. If your rising sign is an Aquarius, it's the vision of how we enter this world. And it's also how people see us as well. That, by the way, is all going to change with Pluto in your first house. But anyway, once we have Mercury and the sun piling into your second house, lucky you, Aquarius, if you are looking for a new job, if you're looking for a new career, if you're looking to build on your skills, your talents, your abilities, maybe you've already been investing in that since Saturn moved in here, March of 2023. Man, it's full on. It's time to hit the pavement, Aquarius, this year. It doesn't have to be this month. Unless you're ready to go, get up and go this month. But now it's time to put those skills into motion and start monetizing that. Start monetizing yourself, Aquarius. Put yourself out there and learn something new. I just heard buy something new. Well, yeah, it is your second house. So, I mean, this is material possession. So you could be buying and selling, negotiating, you know, lining. This is lining your pockets, but also emptying your pockets, Aquarius. So it just depends on your lifestyle, depends on how you want to utilize this energy. But yeah, you could be buying more things, buying new things, material possessions. Saturn in here, you know, could help you get a mortgage, get that car loan, you know, whatever the case may be. Get that loan to buy a yacht, I don't know, or a cottage or something like that, whatever you want to do. So the second house is very powerful. And as I mentioned, this is all about new work coming your way, Aquarius. And if you're not working, well, again, this is your calling. What do you want to do? How do you pay the bills? How do you line your pockets? Is this a side hustle you want to monetize with Jupiter in your fifth house going direct this month? You know, anything you tried to put into motion in the past. So let's say October of 2024, if something stalled out October, November, you know, this positive movement forward with Mars and Jupiter, you should start to see some traction this month, Aquarius. So I'm going to jump around a little bit, so I apologize, but new moon in Pisces. I just don't want to repeat myself, but we have a new moon here. So that's what I'm talking about with this new beginning in this second house of work, of money, of income, of resources, of standing on your own 2 feet, Aquarius. Or this could quite literally be buying things, whatever you want, material possessions, whatever you want. Now, the other new beginnings I'm talking about is Venus. Venus activated Saturn middle of January. Technically, when 2 planets come together, it's a new beginning, whether big or small. Sometimes we notice it, sometimes we don't, or it's something we initiate at this time. So Venus coming together with Saturn, crystallizing something in this area of life. And she's coming together with the North Node in Neptune the first week of February. But this is a different feel because we have the North Node here. The nodes of the moon, fate, destiny, fortune step in. This is like magic synchronicity stepping in, shoving you, nudging you onto a new path, bringing in people, places, things, Aquarius, onto your path for a reason to take a new direction. This is like a fork in the road. Now, is all this going to happen this month? No, because I'm getting ahead of myself like I usually do. But the nodes of the moon are going to be here for about 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years, the eclipse cycle. So nudging you along in this area of life. So like I said, if you're looking for a new career, if you're looking for new work, if you're looking to change your life, this very well could help nudge you along, Aquarius. Now, Venus is in your 3rd house of siblings, cousins, relatives, your extended family members. It's your local environment, your local neighborhood. This could be transportation. This could be how you get around. This is short distance trips and traveling. So these are benefits coming to you, Aquarius, from any one of those things I just mentioned. This could be finding love locally. You know, if you're single, looking to mingle, this could definitely be full on. You could definitely meet somebody new, especially with Saturn coming together with, Venus coming together with Saturn in January, Venus coming together with Neptune. You could find love at work as well. But my only caution would be she is going retrograde March the 1st. And she's going to be going over old ground in this area of life and backing into Saturn again, and backing into Neptune again, and backing into that North Node again. So there's something here that she's going to be wrapping up in April and May. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this now is because just pay attention to what happens in your life, anything to do with love, money, relationships, your value system. Actually, that's the 2nd house as well, is your values could be up for some change and transition. Well, I have no doubt with Neptune there, that's been going on since 2011. You know, what do your values mean to you? And I don't mean spirituality, but I mean it could be if that's what you want it to be. But that's been up for some change as well with Neptune in here for such a long stay. But Venus also rules your 9th house of teaching, of education, of long distance traveling, tripping around, citizenship, immigration, passports, dealing with foreign lands, foreign cultures, like overseas, or anything to do with the education, legal system, justice system, anything like that. So there's something here that's we might not be seeing. You might not be seeing clearly. So that's why I'm saying go slow. Anything new is great. You know, I mean, well, we have multiple new beginnings in this second area of life, but Venus is the activator here. And if she's going back and forth, there's something we missed. So she'll come back, fix what she missed, and then she'll keep cruising along. But if you meet anybody new, now this could be at a distance, this could be your local environment, this could be partnerships, again, anything to do with money, just go slow, Aquarius. That would be my recommendation, because there's just something we're not seeing, right? With a Venus retrograde, there's like a lesson here. So that's just my 2 cents, but I mean, use your intuition, Aquarius, during this time as well. I mean, she is direct this month, but she's in shadow all month long. So she's going to be covering whatever she's doing this month for all of us. She's going to be coming back over old ground because there's something that we missed, or there's something that we're not seeing quite clear. Okay, the full moon is pointing an arrow right at you, Aquarius. So yes, it's in Leo, but it lights up the entire axis. It's not really about, full moons light up the entire, both areas of life. So this could again be about a relationship. This is an ending. This is a culmination point. So when I say relationship, this could be with work, business, love, friendships, families. This could be about contracts, agreements, negotiations, marital agreements, anything to do with marriage. This is sort of shining a spotlight on that. And again, it's shining a spotlight on you, which I talked about with the sun in your first house. So this could quite literally be bringing up a health issue, a health matter, diet, nutrition, career, reputation, status, work, home, living situation, or relationships, which I already mentioned. So that is around the 12th of February. So again, this is endings, or this is closing one chapter and moving into something brand spanking new. So again, Aquarius, if you're looking for work, it should be full on this month. It should be anyway, if you want to put yourself out there. You got to put yourself out there first. I don't know if a job is going to land in your lap, but maybe, you know, you never know. With Venus making contact with Neptune, the North Node, and Saturn, you just never know with these nodal axes. You just, it's kind of like Uranus, working with Uranus, expect the unexpected. Okay, now Mars is finally going direct this month. Hallelujah. This has been a little bit scratchy. I have no doubt about it, and frustrating, Aquarius. You know, Mars in here makes us really tough to express ourselves, and it's in a heavy area of life for you. So this is about diet, health, nutrition, how you're taking care of yourself. This is about work, being of service. Again, if you're not working, apply this to your life and living circumstances. So how do you want to be of service? What is the legacy you want to leave behind? Or are you planning for retirement? This might be the final straw and you're like, oh my God, I'm retiring by the end of 2025, or I'm retiring by middle of 2025. I've had enough. This could be about, if you own a business, run a business. This is about people that work with you or for you. That could have been irritable or frustrating on some level, Aquarius. Again, this would have hit us different ways, different scenarios. I'm just trying to give you kind of some examples or possibilities. This could have something to do with your pets as well. Inflammation in the body, either with a pet or with you, quite literally, inflammation or swelling of the body. With Mars in here, it can be kind of a double-edged sword. We can get to the bottom of something, a health issue, but Mars can also irritate us, right, on the inside as well. But at least it brings it to our attention so we can address it and nip it in the bud once and for all. Diet, routines, your day-to-day, maybe there's something here that you've got to cut and sever once and for all, Aquarius. And again, this could be a job. Lots of triggers here, lots of activations on the work front, job front. If you're looking, like I said, for new work, or if you're looking for people to work with you or for you, if you own a business. Again, hopefully you get some traction here of something that might have took the back seat or slowed down back in October and November. Otherwise, Aquarius, that is about it for the month of February that I wanted to mention anyway in this video without making it too long. So enjoy the month ahead. Enjoy these brand new beginnings, whether you're conscious of them or not. But again, if you're looking for new work, new career, new financial endeavors, now is the month to plant those seeds of intention and put yourself out there, Aquarius. I think that would be really beneficial for you this month. So enjoy, and again, happy birthday, and we'll see you back here next month. Bye for now. Hey Pisces, welcome to February. Let's talk about where I think your focus is going to be. Well, it's pretty obvious it's going to be about you. But I want to wish you a very happy birthday if you are celebrating this month, Pisces, and what a birthday month to celebrate. And I want to say this right now before I forget. If you have, well, it depends on what you're watching for. If your sun is in Pisces or if your rising sign is in Pisces, this new moon is for you. This is your birthday new moon, I call it. Even if you're a rising Pisces, set those new moon intentions on February the 27th. So you have lots of time to think about it, and set those intentions on the 27th, because this is your new moon. Regardless of what day your birthday is, whether it's this month or next month, it does not matter. Plant those seeds of intention. And also this month has extra power to it because we got Venus activating you as well. Yes, she was in your sign last month, also activating you and starting these new beginnings. That's going to continue for the month of February, and she's going to be going back and forth between you and Aries. If you have anything at the final degrees of Pisces, she's going to be going over those planets, placements, points, whatever you're watching for. If it's your moon, it's something to do with your emotional body, female figures in your life, or quite literally your place of living. Home, family, foundation. If it's your sun, it's about your career. If it's your rising sign, this is about you, the life and vitality of the body, the physical body. It's you rising to the occasion, Pisces. It's the lens you wear to see the world, and it's how people view you. So that's going to be up for some review and introspection as well. So Pisces, let me first say the sun is still in Aquarius. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Well, depending on when you're watching this. Sun being in Aquarius, this is sort of still solitude, wrapping things up. This is about spirituality, awakenings, doing things behind the scenes before getting ready for all this energy to pile into your sign. So I hope you got your rest, Pisces. I hope you got your solitude time in, because now it's time to, again, rise to the occasion. As soon as the sun touches Pisces, that 0-degree mark, you should feel it. It should bring life and energy and vitality. And Mercury following along with the sun as well should, again, give you life again. You should feel it. It's like suddenly oomph. It's like suddenly somebody turns on the light bulbs and it's like, oh, okay, yes, I am here. And this is, time to get rolling again, time to get cruising along. So Pisces, let's talk about activations here in your first house. And again, your first house is all about you, your physical appearance. This is the health and well-being of the body. The first house is connected to all major life themes. So it's connected to your career, your status, your reputation, the legacy you leave behind, your home, your living situation, your family, your children, if you have any kids, and your relationships, of course. This is all about multiple areas of life are being activated at this time. So when Venus was in here in January, she came into contact with Saturn, technically starting some sort of new beginning here. Now, this is nothing new. Like Venus cruises along and moves through the zodiac about once a year. It takes her about a year to go through the whole wheel of the zodiac. So that's nothing new. But the magical thing is you have the North Node here. So that's where fate, destiny, fortune kind of steps in, and synchronicity comes in and starts to nudge you like, hey, pay attention to this, pay attention to that. The nodes are going to bring in faded relationships, faded people, places, things into your life for a reason, Pisces, to kind of nudge you along here for your highest good and the highest good of all. So Venus here activated a lot of things and will continue to activate Neptune and the North Node the beginning of February. Now, yes, she's going to be moving into your second house this month, but she's going to come back to your sign and revisit Saturn and revisit Neptune and revisit that North Node and polish up something that she left behind. And if you're saying to yourself, well, I didn't feel anything, there is no new beginnings, just wait, because this could be conscious or unconscious. Like, again, this is where your personal chart comes in and exactly where these planets are hitting in your chart and activation, like it's layer upon layer upon layer here. I'm just scratching the surface with these examples, Pisces. So pay attention to what happens January, February, March, and April, because Venus here is really activating something to do with you, something to do with work, something to do with being of service, something to do with your finances, your value systems, or what you value or what you find valuable. It's material possessions. Could be about buying, selling. This could be about property as well. Now, Venus does rule love and money. So I would just caution to not go too big, too hard, or spend the almighty dollar unless you absolutely have to, Pisces. The reason I say that is because, you know, Venus retrograde. That means we're blinded by love. We could be blinded by love. We could be blinded by a financial circumstance, or we could be blinded by a get-rich-quick scheme that we fall for. That's just the reality of it. And all these planets are in your sign. This is going to impact you very greatly and personally, or this is going to bleed out to other areas of life, like I mentioned, your work, your career, your home, your relationships. So, and it's nothing bad. I'm not trying to doom and gloom this. This is really nice energy coming in for you, especially being in your first house. You can change your life. This is the transit of like a new you being birthed, being born, that technically started way back in 2011 with Neptune here. And then Saturn coming in here in 2023, crystallizing, putting it into form. And then once these planets move into your second house, it's a whole new life. It's all new work. It's a whole new being of service, a whole new way of lining your pockets, Pisces. So I don't want to doom and gloom this. It's just that this stuff doesn't happen overnight, right? And we have to work through the kinks and things that we don't understand. And we have to wade through the fog. We're going to be doing that all of 2025. But anyway, getting back to February, you know, there's just something you're not seeing when it comes to love or money or value system. If someone's trying to change your value system, if someone's trying to say, hey, here's something you can make $1 million within 24 hours, okay, you know, investigate that. I would recommend to go slow. Or if you meet anybody new, you could meet somebody new at work, Pisces. You know, maybe you already met somebody new. With Venus in the first house all of January, this makes you a great attractor. This makes you look attractive. The way you speak, the way you act, the way you dress, the way you talk makes you very attractive. So maybe you already met someone, which is amazing, by the way, but just go slow. That would be my recommendation. Because again, she's going back and forth for a reason. She's in shadow right now. So when she goes retrograde, and if that new partner says, hey, let's share bank accounts. Hey, let's go get $1 million mortgage together. Hey, can you buy me a yacht? You know, what are you going to say, Pisces, right? So I would just say, go slow, take it slow. Because you might not be seeing this person for who they truly are, or this work endeavor. If love doesn't resonate, it could be a work endeavor, or again, a value system. You know, a spiritual mentor, or a teacher, or a guide, or you know what? It could even be a sibling. Venus rules your house of siblings, neighbors, relatives, extended family members. Could be one of them too, right? So again, just keep your antenna up. Pisces, you're very psychic, you're very intuitive. Like the water signs are, you know, they're mostly tapped into their intuition. So just use your intuition, Pisces, and you'll be able to navigate this. But yeah, it's a little bit foggy. Let's wade through the fog before we, you know, move forward with life. But it is what it is. If you have to sign on the dotted line, take that new job, again, at the end of the day, there's new beginnings happening here. There's multiple new beginnings happening in your first house, which could bleed out to all areas of life. Now, full moon in Leo, speaking of work, this could be a new job, again, new work endeavor, a new business venture. If you own a business, run a business, this could be changes with people that work with you or for you. This could be bringing to your attention a health matter, a pet matter, something to do with your day-to-day duty and responsibility might change. Or again, just be activated here with this full moon. This is an ending, this is a culmination point. Something coming to a peak, something coming to an end in this area of life. Could be a health-related matter, could be a spirituality-related matter, or an awakening, or again, extra emphasis on endings and new beginnings, because it is shining a spotlight in your hidden 12th house. So solitude, reflection, letting go, healing in some way, shape, or form. Psychological matters, things coming into the conscious mind suddenly, dreams, past life regression, anything that's hidden, could also, like this full moon is also helping you kind of illuminate something that is hidden or that you're not quite seeing for some reason. So that will help. This full moon in Leo will also help with that. And Mars, yeah, so Mars is finally going direct at the end of the month, and Mars down in your 5th house, not a bad placement. You know, Mars has been pouring in nice energy into your planet placements points. 5th house is children or grandchildren. If you do have any kids, Pisces, or grandkids, this is also about, again, romance, dating, self-expression. So if you have met someone new, if you did get hot and heavy really fast, that's okay. That's totally fine. You know, Mars in the 5th house, Venus in a very spicy, fiery sign. I have no doubt you'll have some spice between the sheets, Pisces. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just, again, heed caution here. Mars is retrograde. Mars is still in shadow for quite some time yet. And Mars is going to be here until middle of April. So this is a nice time to find a romantic partner or somebody coming in. Might be somebody even coming back from the past too. This is, now if romance doesn't resonate with you, this would be creative endeavors, creative projects, hobbies, self-expression. This is the area of life that lights you up from the inside out. This is the area of life where they ask you, what do you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up, Pisces? So you've had Mars in here for an extra long stay. Think back to October of 2024. Has there been any delays or stagnation in this area of life? Maybe you noticed your sex drive has gone south, right? Because this is, the 5th house is also sex too. Venus coming into Aries is going to really spice up your sex drive as well, Pisces. Possibly. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest. I don't have your personal birth chart. I don't know how this is hitting you personally. I'm just giving you some tips and nudges and ideas. But the good news is you should get some traction. You should get some forward momentum when it comes to home, family matters, mom, dad, authority figures in your life, bosses, maybe getting some traction with the boss finally, or pitching that idea or that business idea or that business loan. Or again, just something to do with a creative project that you're trying to get off the ground and monetize, Pisces. You should see some forward momentum that maybe stalled out in October and November for you. And then Venus and Aries, if I didn't already say this, excellent for work, excellent for lining your pockets, really good for, you know, buying and selling things as well, and bringing in benefits, bringing in blessings. But, and she's going to be going back and forth here, so lucky you. But again, when it's retrograde, try to pump the brakes on spending lots of money. Like, you know, do you really need that yacht? Do you really need that sports car in the garage that's like 150,000 or whatever? Pisces, you know, just things like that. Just think about a good time to think about it and reflect about it. I mean, at the end of the day, she is direct this month. It's when she goes retrograde is when we kind of want to go, okay, I want to change XYZ about my life, but let's wait and see until May. And if I still want to do XYZ, then I can move forward with that in, I would recommend May would be a better time frame to move forward with anything to do with financial endeavors, even new business ventures. Like I said, jumping into bed with someone literally or financially. Just go slow, Pisces, and use that incredible intuition that you have, and you'll be fine. You'll sail through this. But otherwise, take advantage of all these new beginnings. I know I probably contradicted myself, but there's nothing wrong with starting something new and starting something fresh this month. Just go slow, you know, and if something makes your head spin, just ground yourself and go slow. And if someone's trying to pressure you, there's your red flag, you know. So anyway, Pisces, you do you. Happy birthday again. Enjoy. We're in your season, and oh, lots to talk about in 2025 and beyond. So I'm super excited about that for you. So enjoy the month ahead, and we'll see you back here in March. Bye for now.